God bless the great state of Ohio and this honorable court. You may be seated.
Good morning. Today's date is September 6, 2024. It's the morning docket of the Lawrence County Municipal Court. We're going to start the first group of cases we're going to call our reviews. So when you hear your name called, come up to the table on the right and we'll call for the cases.
Zachary DeMint, Holly Elkins, Randy Hines, Tyus Ferguson, Amber Kelly, and Amber Mills.
Zachary DeMint. This is the State of Ohio versus Zachary R. DeMint, CRB 22-101, PRB 22-2057, A, B, and C, and CRB 22-553, and CRB 22-506. Mr. DeMint, are you still in counseling at Shawnee?
No, sir. I am about to get in with Riverside, do outpatient.
Well, did you complete the counseling?
I did complete it.
We don't have anything saying that you've completed that.
I have gave my certificate to Capper last time I was
Your
here.
Honor, if I may, I do know that he was finished with TCC and had moved on to outpatient, I believe.
Okay.
Mr. Tarvin is not going to be here. He's on vacation. I think he's going to be gone for the next 2 weeks.
Okay. Well, Mr. DeMint, you still owe on CRB 23-101 $260.
I'll make a payment today.
How much you gonna pay today?
I'm gonna put 20 on it, and then at the end of the week, I'll put another 20 on it.
On PRB 22-2057, you owe $445, and there's been no payments. And on CRB 22-553 and CRB 22-506, $235, and there's been no payments.
I'll start making payments.
Are you working presently?
No, I am currently not working. I've literally just been spending time with my mom and my kids right now, where I just got out of treatment and everything. But I am looking for a job, so.
Okay, so there's no reason presently that you can't do community service.
Right, yeah, I'll start that, whatever it is. I don't know whatever days it
I
is.
keep hearing a lot of this, and these are, not a lot's happened in only over 2 years. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to order you to do 2 days community service a week.
All right.
And that will work off part of your fines as far as that goes. And I'm going to note that on the file, that you're ordered to do 2 days community service per week.
Yes, sir. And what days are community service? Monday through Friday?
Monday through Saturday.
Okay.
Between 7:30 and 8 o'clock in the morning.
All right.
And I'm going to set you back for a review. On October 18th, at 9 a.m. And I'm going to note that you're going to do 2 days community service per week because you're not working. There's no reason you can get this taken care of. And I'll note that you're going to make a payment today, $20, and then a payment on Friday.
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right, thank you, sir.
See you back on October 18th.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Holly Elkins. This is State of Ohio versus Holly Elkins, CRB 24-387, CRB 23-342, and CRA 04179. Ms. Elkins, it looks like on CRB 24-387, still owe 30 hours community service and $375 on 23-342. It looks like you've paid $40 on the fine, and you've done 1 day of community service. So you still owe 24 hours community service and $270 dollars on the fine. And on the CRA 4179, looks like all your community services done, it's $161.50. The last time you did any community service on that case was in July, and on the prior case, looks like you have a payment today?
Yeah, I paid 20 today.
Okay. Are you working?
No.
So is there a reason you can't do some community service then?
I have 2 kids, so it's hard. It's hard to find a babysitter, but they're in school. But I do Saturdays here.
Okay, has she been doing Saturday? Yeah. All right. I'm going to set you back for October 18th for review at 9 a.m. Keep doing your community service, get these cases knocked out, so you don't have to keep coming back. The quicker you get it knocked out, the better it is for you and your kids.
Thank you, Your
All
Honor.
right, thank you. Randy Hines. It's the State of Ohio versus Randy and Hines, PRC 23182, PRC 222783. Ms. Hines, it looks like that you have completed your outpatient treatment. You still have 30 hours community service to do, and looks like you're down to $350 on 23-182 and on 22-2783. All of your fines are paid. You're down to 11 hours of community service. So you've almost got the 22-2783 case taken care of. You're just down to 11 hours of community service.
Is there any way I could get a longer time before my next court date so I can get both cases done before I even come back? Because I know I can get them paid off and my community service done. It's just been hard because I've been working and I don't have daycare for them until their dad gets off work and he works day shift.
Well, typically what I'll do, I'm not going to go that far out on it because even though you're doing well, I want to make sure, but I'll go out I'll go out a little more than 45 days. So we'll do October 25th.
Okay.
Keep making progress. You're almost there.
Okay, thank
All
you.
right, thank you. Tyus Ferguson. It's the State of Ohio, which is Tyus Ferguson, PRD 24641, and TRC 23506. Mr. Ferguson, it looks like you owe on TRD 24641. There was fines and costs of $400 and nothing's been paid on that. And on TRC 23506, nothing's been paid on the fines, but it looks like you worked off all your community service on that case, so you're making some progress there. You can continue working community service and it will pay down your fines.
Yep.
I saw that you recently, it was very recently, got the community service taken care of, so you're making good progress there. Do you have a payment today?
Not today. I should get paid like later today. I can probably pay Monday.
Okay. We'll do October 25th for a new review, 9 a.m. Amber Kelly. All right. This is State of Ohio versus Amber Kelly, PRC 23-1026, ABC and D. All right. Looks like you've done 20 hours of community service since your last time we were here. You still owe 20 hours, and looks like you paid some on your fines. You're down to $643.53. So it's like you're making progress. So I'll give you more time on that. Set another review for October 25th at 9 a.m.
Thank you.
Thank you. Amber Mills. Amber Mills.
Good morning, Your Honor. Miss Mills was not able to get off work today. She's still she resides in our sober living. She's doing well, passing drug screens and doing services.
Okay. So State of Ohio versus Amber Mills, CRB 23-621 and CRB 23-556. I was just informed by her treatment provider she's doing well in the treatment and progressing along. Based upon those statements from the provider, I'm not going to issue a bench warrant for failure to appear. However, I do want to get her back in here with her.
I'll make sure she plans accordingly.
Let's do September 27th for review at 9 a.m.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Stephanie Romans, Sheena Scarberry, Alexis Shockley, Matthew S. Smith, Stephen L. Stanley, James R. Stover.
Stephanie Romans.
Yeah.
This is State of Ohio versus Stephanie Romans, here 17-310.
Your Honor, Ms. Romans has been moved back to residential treatment from sober living. She's had a lapse
Okay.
and some behavioral issues.
Well, Ms. Romans, you've pretty much completed most everything on the list other than your treatment effort.
Yes, sir.
While I'm not happy to hear that you had a relapse,
No.
but I am glad that you immediately sought treatment, and I'm very encouraged by that. And these things do happen.
Yeah.
Don't let it be the end of your journey.
Right.
You can keep going, keep pressing through. I'll set you a new review hearing. And I want to come back a little quicker on this one as well for September 27th at 9 a.m.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Sheena Scarberry. Sheena Scarberry. This is State of Ohio versus Sheena R. Scarberry, CRA 13463, CRB 13469, CRB 1291, CRB 11638, and CRB 10899. Ms. Scarberry was to be here at 9 a.m. this morning for review. Time is now 9:50. She's been called for, has failed to appear. There'll be a bench warrant to issue. Alexis Shockley.
Yes.
This is State of Ohio. This is Alexis and Shockley, CRB 23696. You're down to 12 hours community service, so it looks like you did 6 between the last hearing, and looks like your fine is paid off, so you're down to 12 hours community service. If you knock those 2 days out, you're done. So, how quickly do you think you can knock those out?
Maybe like 3 weeks. I work a lot, so.
I'll give you a little longer than that.
Your Honor, if you'd like, that's all she owes. You can put her on my docket, on Wednesday, third Wednesday of the month, a couple months out. Like,
So third Wednesday of the month?
yes.
That's due November 20th. Due to 9 a.m.
9 a.m.
For review at 9 a.m. Mr. Majors. If you have those hours knocked out, I can do this.
All she needs to do is just contact me when she believes it's done, and I can verify it, and I'll take her off the docket. Close your case down.
Thank
very
you.
much. Matthew Smith. Yes, sir. This is State of Ohio versus Matthew Smith, CRB 21-692, CRB 15-457, CRB 14-553, CRB 14-665, PRC 12-627. All right. Mr. Smith, on CRB 21-692, you still owe $410. It doesn't look like you've completed your community service for that case, but there hasn't been any new community service completed since June. On CRB 15-457, there's total fines and costs of $3,348 on that. A large portion of that is, almost $2,700 of that is restitution, but it looks like nothing has been paid. On CRB 14-553, looks like there's $1,854 owed and 99 cents, and nothing has been paid. Looks like $300 of that is restitution. On CRB 14-665, $346 in fines and costs, and nothing's been paid. On TRC 12-627A, looks like you've paid $355 of the $1,280. Are you in treatment anywhere?
No, I'm just waiting for surgery. Josh is kind of aware of that. That is, I got to have stomach reconstruction surgery, so I'm not able to work, so I just pay every month I come in here. I put money on there. As soon as I get back to work, I'm going to get caught back up. But that is actually what's going on. I'm not in treatment. I don't need treatment.
Mr. Cooper, what say you?
At community service, I do know he does have an operation coming up. I don't believe he owes any more community service, but he does have some fines he can work off, but I do know he does have an operation coming up.
Do you know when your operation's set for? Mr.
Well, September 12th is when I go in, and they should schedule me then. And then after that, it'll probably take probably 5-6 weeks for healing, because it's pretty good surgery. And then after that, I'll be able to actually go back to work and start just paying on them. So that's kind of my plan. So.
Well, I mean, some of these cases have been out there since, 2012.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's more than a decade. So I'm going to give you a little bit of leeway based upon what Mr. Cooper's indicated to the court, but once you're finished with your surgery and then you're healed at that point, I'm going to expect to see substantial progress. So we'll come back. October 25th, on all cases.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. At 9 a.m. Stephen Stanley?
Yes, sir.
To the State of Ohio versus Stephen L. Stanley, PRD 24-152, ABC&D. Mr. Stanley, it looks like you You owe $2,232.50. About $1,600 of that is restitution. The year you paid $500 total, so you're down to $1,732 on the case. It looks like you made a payment of $150 today.
Yes, yes. I usually pay $100 around the first and then $50 when I come to court. But seeing as how the days was messed up this month, I went ahead and waited till I come to court and just paid the $150.
Set your new review date for October 25th at 9 a.m.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor.
James R. Stover. The State of Ohio versus James R. Stover, PRC 192630. Well, Mr. Stover, I've just been handed a certificate of completion from RRS, so congratulations.
Thank you, Your Honor.
That is always encouraging news. Looks like you've done 18 hours of community service since your last hearing, so you're down to 12 hours. All your fines are paid off. So I'm going to do the same thing that I did with another young lady and set you with Mr. Major on November 20th for review. You're down to 12 hours community service. Once you believe you have those completed, contact Mr. Major and your case will be completed. And congratulations again on completing it.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. The next group of cases that we're going to call are arraignments. So if you have an arraignment, please come in the courtroom.
Arraignments, Vista here and warrant for your arrest. It's in courtroom now.
All right. When you hear your name called, we're going to have to come up to the table on your right. We'll go over the charges. You have certain rights before the court. You have the right to remain silent. Everything in here is being recorded. And so if you say something that is against your interest, the state of Ohio can use that against you. You have the right to have reasonable bail. You have the right to make the state prove each and every element of the charged offense against you beyond a reasonable doubt. When you come up, I will go over the charge with you and I'm going to ask you for a plea. You can enter one of three pleas. You can enter guilty, which means you're admitting the violation and the allegations contained therein. You can enter a not guilty plea, which means you're denying the allegations. Or you can enter a no contest plea, which means you're not admitting the allegations, but if I believe that the state would have enough evidence, I could find you guilty. If you're unsure of what you should do, you should enter a not guilty plea because it preserves all your rights before the court. Call for the case.
State of Ohio versus Aaron J. Jones, case number TRC 24-1871, A, B, and C.
All right, Mr. Jones.
Good morning.
Good morning. This is State of Ohio versus Aaron J. Jones, PRC 24-1871, A, B, and C. Mr. Jones, it's alleged that on or about September 3rd, 2024, in Fayette Township, you were operating a motor vehicle under the influence of alcohol, drug abuse, or a combination thereof, and it was a prohibited blood alcohol score .169. That's a violation of Ohio Revised Code 4511-19, for misdemeanor of the first degree. Maximum penalty for an OVI in the state of Ohio is 6 months in jail, $1,075 fine, 3-year license suspension. The minimum penalty is either 3 days in jail or 3 days in a driver intervention program, $375 fine, and 6-month license suspension. How do you wish to plead?
I wish to plead guilty, Your Honor.
If you enter a guilty plea, you're admitting the allegation, and we'd be proceeding with sentencing today. Is that what you want to do?
I take full responsibility, Your Honor. It was a mistake. I should have gotten a ride home, and I understand the consequences. This was the first time it's ever happened, and I've most definitely learned my lesson. And I would like to plead guilty, sir.
Okay. Mr. Jones, I'll accept your guilty plea and I'm getting a guilty finding.
Your Honor, can you show proof of injury?
Yes, Your Honor, I can.
Okay. Well, we hadn't gotten to the other charge, but there's two other charges here as well. There's on the same date, in the same township, it's failure to register or expired tags, violation of Ohio Revised Code 450311, and that's a minor misdemeanor, maximum penalty $150 fine.
Your Honor, that the tag had expired that night at midnight. In order to get that tag re-registered, I had to wait for my title in the mail, and I had still yet to get that. I'm supposed to go pick it up right after court.
Okay, hang tight 1 second here. We got a muffler violation of Ohio Revised Code 4513.22, and that is a minor misdemeanor, maximum penalty $150 fine costs. And do you wish to enter a guilty plea to all three charges?
No, sir.
Okay, which one?
Just the operating vehicle under the influence.
Okay.
We'd move to nolly the other two if he pleads guilty to the OVI.
All right. Mr. Hill, is there any thoughts or recommendations from the state?
Your Honor, I don't have that file in front of me. Is it a first offense?
It's a first offense with a breath score of .169, so it's just under the high test.
We would recommend a suspended jail sentence, requirement that he attend the 3-day driving program, 6-month driver's license suspension. We would take no position on the fine or any other sanctions that the court might impose.
Okay. And Mr. Jones, you kind of had a little bit of an opportunity to go through what you want to say. Was there anything else that you wanted to tell me?
With the muffler, I had bought the car at a lot, and they did not inform me that anything was wrong. They didn't tell me that the muffler had needed replaced or that it would have been...
The state's dismissed the muffler and the tag violation. They're dismissing it because you're pleading guilty to the other. Is there anything about the OVI that you wish to tell me?
I just drank that night. I was supposed to get a ride home, and I have no explanation, honestly. It was a stupid decision, and I would like to take full responsibility for it.
Okay. On that, I'll sentence you to 10 days in jail. I'll suspend all of them on the condition that you go do the 3-day driver intervention program. There'll be a $500 fine, 30 hours community service, 6-month license suspension.
Your Honor, I would like to request, if I go to college and I work midnight shifts, I have no other transportation in order to go. If there's any way that I could have at least driving privileges to do that.
I'll give you driving privileges. Are you presently working?
Yes, I work at Allied Security.
Okay, I'll give you driving privileges for work, for school, to come to court, and for the 3-day driver program.
Yes, sir.
And Your Honor, he indicated he had insurance, but he's going to have to show that
to the clerk.
I can, yes.
Okay. Do you have that with you today?
Yes.
Okay. Review date.
It is on your, it should be 3/3/25. I'll have a little sticker up there, on your little laptop.
Okay. I'm going to set your review hearing date for March 3rd, 2025 at 9 a.m. If you have everything accomplished and finished during that time frame, and probation verifies that, you won't need to appear for that, but if you don't have everything completed, you'll have to show up.
Yes, sir.
You're gonna have 2 years of level 4 probation. All right, you'll need to see probation get signed up. You'll also need to see the clerk to show your proof of insurance, and then you'll be able to be free to go after that.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Do I sign this?
I'm sorry.
Do I have to do this?
If you want to write down that date. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right, probation is going to be to the left once you leave the courtroom.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
State of Ohio versus Kyle McKnight, case number TRC 21-1859, A and B. Kyle McKnight.
All right, this is State of Ohio versus Kyle McKnight, TRC 24-1859, A and B. Mr. McKnight, it's alleged that on or about August 31st, 2024 in Perry Township, you were operating a motor vehicle under the influence of alcohol or drug abuse, or a combination thereof. It's a violation of, and that you refused a test. That's a violation of Ohio Revised Code 4511.19 A1A. That's a misdemeanor of the first degree. Maximum penalty 6 months in jail, $1,075 fine, 3-year license suspension. Minimum penalty 3 days in jail or 3 days at a driver intervention program, $375 fine, and a 6-month license suspension. You're also charged with driving within marked lanes. That's a violation of 4511.33. It's a minor misdemeanor, maximum penalty, $150 fine and court costs. How do you wish to plead?
Not guilty, Your Honor.
I accept your not guilty plea. All right, I'll let you sign a $1,000 signature bond. There's a sheet right there Mr. Cooper's coming around to help you with. Do you wish to be considered for a court-appointed attorney?
I'm negotiating that right now with an attorney, so as of right now, no.
Right now you intend to hire your own?
Yeah, I'm going to try to, yes, sir.
I'll note that you're going to hire your own attorney. How long do you think you would need?
I can do that within the next couple of days. Because I don't think I qualify for court appointed.
I will set you a pretrial for September 27th. At 10 a.m. If you hire an attorney, keep in contact with them. That date may not work for them. If not, they'll contact the court and move it. But stay in contact with them. If you haven't hired an attorney, you still need to show up that day.
Okay. And that's at 10 a.m.?
10 a.m.
27th September. Your Honor, I'd just like to see if I could get driving privileges, so I do teach.
Presently, you'll need to talk to your attorney about that. Presently, you don't qualify for driving privileges.
Okay.
There's at least a minimum of a 15-day wait before you can get those.
Okay.
Or before they can be requested. And so that has to happen before, that time frame has to happen before anything can be reviewed by the court at that point.
Okay. And also, Your Honor, my license expired today, and I don't know if this is a court matter, but I really don't know what to do about that, so.
I can't give you legal advice on
Okay.
that. You're not really getting before the court on that, but you are
Okay.
suspended.
Yes, I know
Based
that.
upon refusal.
Yes, sir.
And presently, that suspension, I believe through the B&B is for 1 year, absent some other intervention. So,
Okay.
so we'll see you back on 9/27.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
State of Ohio versus Sherman Brown, case number TRC 24-1807, A, B, and C.
This is State of Ohio versus Simone Brown, PRC 24-1807, A, B, and C.
Sir.
Mr. Brown, it's alleged that on or about August 31st in Fayette Township, you were operating a motor vehicle under the influence of alcohol, drug abuse, or a combination thereof. It's alleged that you have a prohibited breath score of .241 and a prior in 2018. Maximum penalty on that, that's a still misdemeanor of the first degree. Maximum penalty on that is 6 months in jail, a $1,675 fine, a driver's license suspension of 1 to 5 years, and immobilization of the vehicle if it's registered to you. Minimum penalty on that is either 20 days in jail or 10 days in jail and up to 36 days of home confinement up to 6 months. $525 fine, 1 year license suspension, and immobilization if it's registered to you. You're also charged with driving in marked lanes, violation of Ohio Revised Code 4511.33, minor misdemeanor, $150 fine and court costs. And in the C case, or excuse me, you're also charged with operating a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license, violation of Ohio Revised Code 4510.12. It's a minor misdemeanor, maximum penalty $150 fine and court costs. How do you wish to plead?
Plead guilty, sir.
Now, if you enter a guilty plea on this, I want you to understand that I'm going to be limited, and I'm going to have to impose a jail sentence on this.
Yes, sir.
If you enter a guilty plea today. Mr. Hill?
Well, I don't mean to interrupt, Your Honor, but I wanted to interject on the state's behalf. Something that we might be willing to do, and I'm not saying that the court will follow suit on this, but this is a young man who's got a pretty high score. That's number one. And number two, he had another OVI back in 2018. So if he felt that he maybe had some issues that could be addressed through some counseling and whatnot, some treatment, to make sure that this doesn't continue to happen in his life, we would be willing to come back at a later date for sentencing. And if he does really well in counseling, we would be willing to make a recommendation to the court as to a sentence that might not be as drastic as it's going to have to be without it today.
Well, now, Mr. Brown, you've heard Mr. Hill on that. You're indicating you want to enter a guilty plea to it, and Mr. Hill's giving you an option potentially to do some treatment and come back for sentencing at a later date.
Yes, sir. That'll be fine with me, sir.
Is that what you wish to do?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'll accept your guilty plea. I'm going to go ahead and enter guilty finding. And do we have anybody that could assess Mr. Brown today? All right. If you turn around and see the gentleman with his hand up right there, he's going to do an assessment for the treatment.
Looks like Mr. Brown lives in Huntington, if that makes a difference.
Okay. Do you have a West Virginia medical card or?
No, sir.
Okay.
Your Honor, I'm not with any treatment center.
Sir.
But I have a treatment center I can call for him.
Sir, you're at one. Is there anybody? Okay. Here.
Sir.
They will go ahead and get you assessed today. We're going to come back. Mr. Hill, how far out would you like to go on this?
Well, we want to make sure that it gets started. So probably 2 or 3 weeks, something like that.
All right. We'll do September 27th for sentencing at 10 a.m.
Where's it going to be assessed, Your Honor?
That's OUP.
You said at 10 a.m., sir?
Yes, sir.
And what's the next date? I'm sorry, Your Honor.
9/27 at 10 a.m. All right, Mr. Brown, if you'll go meet with the treatment provider, they're going to get you all set up, and we'll see you back on 9/27. Probably should go ahead and have you sign a $1,000 signature bond. What that means is you're being released on your own recognizance, Mr. Brown.
Yes, sir.
As long as you show up to court, you don't have to pay anything. However, if you decide not to come back, the court can forfeit that bond and make you pay $1,000.
Yes, sir.
As part of its sentencing, or before you can get another bond.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, we'll see the treatment provider, and we'll see you back on the 27th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
State of Ohio versus Christopher Edwards, case number TRD 241784, A and B.
So the State of Ohio versus Christopher Edwards, TRD 241784, A and B. Mr. Edwards, it's alleged that on or about August 30th in Perry Township that you were operating a motor vehicle with a suspended driver's license, violation of Ohio Revised Code 451011. It's a misdemeanor of the first degree, maximum penalty 6 months in jail, $1,000 fine. And that you're operating while failing to wear a safety belt, that's a statutory $30 fine and court costs and a violation of Ohio Revised Code 4513.263B1. How do you wish to plead?
Innocent.
All right. I will accept your not guilty plea. Do you wish to be considered for a court-appointed attorney?
Pardon me?
Do you wish to be considered for a court-appointed attorney?
That's not necessary.
All right, so you're either going to represent yourself or hire your own attorney?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I will let you sign a $1,000 signature bond as well.
May I ask what the bond is for?
You have the right to have a reasonable bail set, and the bond is to secure your appearance back to court. And if you appear, you don't have to pay anything. You're being released on your own recognizance. If you don't show up for court, the court can forfeit that bond, and you would have to pay that bond before another bond could be set. So as long as you show up back up to court, you're being released on your own recognizance.
When is court, like, how long out?
Well, I was just getting ready to set that. I haven't set that yet.
The only reason I'm asking, Your Honor, is I live so far away that it might be more convenient just to change my plea now that I'm thinking, because it would entail another trip back here, and I'm really not trying to come back here.
Okay, and you're in Charleston, West Virginia?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, that's entirely up to you. If you're telling me that you're not guilty, then I can't really accept another plea from you. But if you're saying that you're guilty, that's a different story altogether. We do have options for pretrials where we could have you appear via Zoom. But if we're going to set this ultimately for a trial, you'd have to be here in person for a trial.
Am I correct in if I change a plea to no contest, then I'd be responsible for court costs and et cetera, right?
If you entered a no contest plea and I entered a guilty finding, then at that point, we would proceed to sentencing on it. Typically, I will, if you wanted time to get your license back.
It's my license, it was a misunderstanding between Roane County and Kanawha County in West Virginia. The car that I was driving was my missus, and she forgot to put the sticker on her car. And then they gave me the citation, and when she faxed into the courthouse, they put it to her because it was her vehicle, the vehicle's in her name. I've since straightened it all out, clear, everybody's been good, and my license is not suspended. It's been not a problem.
Let's say you,
Well, I guess it's possible to run his driving record and see.
Sure.
I don't have a copy of that
I mean,
file, so
it's
we had
a
that.
driving under suspension and a seatbelt.
And the
So what I
seatbelt
would
charge,
need to
excuse
do
me.
is ask somebody at my office to run that.
What we'll do if you want to have a seat,
Yes, sir.
we'll recall this here in a few minutes, give the state an opportunity to run it.
Yes, sir.
And then we'll recall it at that time.
Yes, sir.
Well, they,
I can give them a license if you want.
Mr. Gill,
Yeah.
the court has somebody here that can run it.
okay, that's great.
We can do it. Thank you, Your Honor.
State of Ohio versus Ole J. Burgess, case number TRC 24-1833, A and B. Ole J. Burgess.
This is State of Ohio versus Ole J. Burgess, TRC 24-1833. Let's recall this a little later in the docket. We're going to recall this case later in the docket.
State of Ohio versus Ellis Smith, case number CRB 2452.
This is State of Ohio versus Ellis Smith, CRB 2452. And it looks like this there was a review hearing set for August 30th, 2024, and that Mr. Smith has failed to appear for that review. Mr. Smith, do you admit or deny that you failed to appear for your review hearing?
I called in here because my grandma was dying, and what happened was they told me I had 7 days before I had a warrant issued. The clerk of courts did. I don't know if there's a misunderstanding between me and them, or I called on Thursday, I think it was, and talked to them. And they said that it'd be fine if I come in here by this Friday.
Okay. I'm looking at your file, and it looks like you had 30 hours of community service to do. And $300 in fines and court costs. So it doesn't look like anything's been done since you were sentenced on March 1st, 2024. Is there a reason you haven't done anything?
Your Honor, I've been in West Virginia taking care of stuff over there with the courts and Boyd County. And I just got a job, just got back on my feet and everything, and I can make a payment today.
How much can you pay today?
50? How much do you need?
I'm going to make sure that the warrants are recalled in this matter. I'm going to put you down for $50 payment. All right, I'll put you down for a $50 fine, $50 payment today. We're going to come back. October 18th.
Yes, sir. I can work Sundays at the dog pound when they get a spot open. I work 6 days a week.
You'll need to speak with the probation department about that and getting that set up and approved. But I'll need to, we come back on October 18th, I'm going to be looking for some pretty substantial progress.
Yes, sir, I understand.
Okay. All right, so we'll set it for review at 9 a.m. on October 18th.
Okay. Thank you,
All
sir.
right, thank you.
State of Ohio recalls Christopher Edwards, case number TRD 24-1784, A and B.
Your Honor, he is now. So the State of Ohio versus Christopher Edwards, TRD 24-1784, A and B. We were last on record, and there was a not guilty plea entered at that time, but prior to setting for another hearing, Mr. Edwards had given a brief explanation to the court and had made some discussion about changing his plea. We had his driver's license ran, and he is now valid. Mr. Hill,
We move to null that, Your Honor, if he's valid.
all right. So, being valid, the state's willing to null the driver's license suspension issue. How do you wish to plea on the safety belt?
Innocent on that, I was wearing it.
Okay. Well, we'll have to set we'll have to set for trial. So you're looking at-
I'm sorry to interrupt. What's the penalty for guilty? Like, it might be feasible, more economical just to go ahead and pay a fine.
It's a statutory $30 fine and non-moving court costs.
That's fine by me.
All right, so how do you wish to?
Guilty on that charge. That's fine.
You change of plea on the B case. Guilty. It'll be a $30 fine and court costs. Can you pay that today?
Depending on how much court costs are.
$100.
So it'd be 130 total
130 total.
versus a trip back. Yeah, that's fine. 130 today is fine.
All right, what I'm going to do
Yes, sir.
is not have, I'm going to set a review hearing. I'm going to set it out into next year, assuming that you make that payment today. The review hearing will be canceled and we'll need to come back.
Sure.
In the event that it doesn't happen by then, you'll have to show up.
Oh, no worries.
All right, so I'm going to set a review.
Take care of it right now.
Question I just put on your level.
That's fine, to terminate once it comes home.
I can do a final payment.
Let's do final payment. All
He
right.
has until December the 10th of this year to pay.
All right. There'll be a final pay date set for you for December 10th. So as long as you pay it today, it's done.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, you will see the clerk.
The clerk would be
Out to the right.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
State of Ohio versus Catherine A. Monty, case number CRB 24568.
Just call me. Yes, I appreciate it.
The State of Ohio versus Catherine A. Monty, CRB 24568. Ms. Monty is present. Mrs. Arraignment, looks like she was set to be here on September 3rd, 2024, and have failed to appear at that time.
I'm so sorry.
She's not here today. And ma'am, we're going to go through the charges with you. Ms. Monique, it's alleged that on or about September 1st in Fayette Township, you did with purpose to deprive Walmart, owner property or services, you knowingly obtained or exerted control over said property or services, to wit, miscellaneous merchandise without the consent of the owner or person authorized to give consent. It's a violation of Ohio Revised Code 29130281, theft and misdemeanor in the first degree. Have you received a copy of that? Have you received a copy of that charge? Mr. Cooper, if you want to serve. Ms. Monica, how do you wish to plead?
Guilty.
All right, so if you enter a guilty plea, you're admitting the violation. All
But
right.
I didn't mean, I'm sorry, it will never happen again. I feel so bad.
I will accept your guilty plea. I'll enter a guilty finding. However, before we go forward with sentencing, I'm going to have Ms. Monica take a drug screen. And we're going to come back out once that's done for sentencing.
What I take, prescription.
This is kind of a court standard. on these type cases. Often there's some issues there. And so we'll have you screened. If you would see Mr. Cooper in the back of the courtroom, he'll take you out, get you screened, and then we'll come back in and do so.
State of Ohio versus Robert E. Offlick at the Lawrence County Jail, case number CRA 24579, CRA 24580, and Daniel Bryson is on deck.
All right. This is the State of Ohio versus Robert E. Offlick, CRA 24579 and CRA 24580. Mr. Offlick, can you hear me? I believe you're muted. Okay, I can hear you now. I saw your mouth moving, but I couldn't hear you. I can hear you now. All right. Mr. Offlick, you're here on a Rule 4 hearings. One of them, the allegations are that Hocking County is interested in, has a warrant for you, and is interested in having you sent back there for an aggravated possession of drugs, a felony of the 5th degree, and a paraphernalia charge, a misdemeanor of the 4th degree. You also, there's also a warrant out of Athens County for what appears to be a breaking and entering, felony of the 5th degree, and a possession charge, felony of the 5th degree. Now, you have a right, Mr. Offlick, to have those counties come down here and make sure that you are the person, and have a hearing to determine whether you are the right person that they're looking for. You also have the right to, if you so choose, you can waive that hearing if you believe that you are that person. And typically, I will give them a number of days, probably about a week, to come pick you up. Do you want to, essentially, do you want to have a hearing on that matter, and I can appoint you an attorney, and we'll come back on another day to have hearings on that issue? Or if you wish to waive that right, you can waive that right.
I just waive it.
Okay, and is that for both cases?
Yeah.
All right. We're going to send waivers down to the jail. There'll be places for your signature on that. And I'm going to give both counties 7 days to come get you. They can, well, I guess whoever gets you first will take you first, and then they'll handle another Rule 4 from there with the other county. But as far as Lawrence County is concerned, I'm going to give them 7 days, and so I'm going to set another hearing in this matter for September 13th on both cases.
Can you tell me which one is Athens?
Athens is the CRA 24580.
Thank you.
I'm going to give Athens and Hocking County 7 days to come pick you up. In the event that they don't come pick you up, Mr. Offlick, you'll have a hearing on that day on September 13th in a week. So if they haven't picked you up by then, we'll have a hearing here to determine whether or not there's valid cause for them to not pick you up or release you.
Yes, sir.
All right. We'll send those down to the jail, and if you're picked up, then we'll cancel that hearing on the 13th. If you're not, we'll see you back on the 13th.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
State of Ohio versus Daniel E. Bryson at the Lawrence County Jail, case number TRD 212208 A and B, and TRD 193468. Brett Mitchell is on deck.
All right, this is State of Ohio versus Daniel E. Bryson, TRD 212208 A and B, TRD 193468. All right. Okay. Mr. Daniel, we're going to recall your case here in just a couple of minutes. We're going to recall your case here in just a couple of minutes.
Okay. State of Ohio versus Brett Mitchell, case number CRB 15891, and Logan T. Rife is on deck.
All right, this is State of Ohio versus Brett Mitchell, CRB 15891. Mr. Mitchell is present at the Lawrence County Jail. It looks like there was a hearing set on September 3rd for sentencing, and Mr. Mitchell alleged to have failed to appear at that hearing. Mr. Mitchell, do you admit or deny that you failed to appear for your review or for your hearing on September 3rd?
Yes, sir. I failed to appear.
Okay. And it looks like you were picked up by Mr. Sowers. Is that correct?
I wasn't picked up. I came to him and brought myself to him at the courthouse for that.
Okay. Here's what I'm going to do. Mr. Mitchell, I'm going to have you assessed.
Okay.
Today, and then if we could have someone that could call down and assess Mr. Mitchell.
We're trying to check to see how all has been. Riverside has something.
Okay. Riverside Recovery is going to call down and do an assessment on Mr. Mitchell. Based upon the history of this case, I have a sneaky suspicion that there's going to be, and it's going to assess as inpatient, but we're going to have you back out after your assessment and determine where we go from here. Okay?
So I'm going to come back out and see you after assessment, or?
Yes. You'll come back.
Okay.
Before the board.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Case will be recalled.
State of Ohio versus Logan T. Rife at the Lawrence County Jail, case number CRB 24512 A and B, and Richard T. Rife is on deck.
It's the State of Ohio versus Logan T. Rife, CRB 24512 A and B. Mr. Smith is here on behalf of Mr. Rife, State's represented by Mr. Heel. And my understanding was Mr. Rife had some issues down in Ironton, and his issues here are what's kind of holding things up.
Yes, Judge. He has got a bed reserved for 3 o'clock today with the counseling center. He could not go yesterday directly from Ironton Municipal Court because of the case pending here. And speak with Mr. Rife and the prosecutor. Logan is willing to enter a guilty plea I think the state's going to request 180 days, credit for 22 days he's been in jail, and let him out to go to treatment. Place him on whatever term of probation, fines, costs, the court deems necessary.
That's what we intend to do and present to the court. We also need a no contact order.
Okay.
Logan, you know you need to sign a no contact order. You can't have any contact with this lady. You understand that, right?
Yes, sir.
And you're still wanting to go to the counseling center at 3 o'clock today?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Just to clarify, the recommendation is going to be 180 days, credit for 22 with the balance suspended, is that correct?
That is correct.
That is correct, yes. And placed on whatever term of probation the court.
All right, Mr. Wright, is it your intention to enter a guilty plea to the charges here today?
Yes, sir.
All right. I will accept your guilty plea. I will enter a guilty finding on the A case. Be 180 days in the Lawrence County Jail. I'll give you credit for 22 days that you've already served, and we'll suspend 158 days. There'll be a no contact order. And Mr. Hill, who's the?
Her name is Brianna Fugit.
No contact order with Brianna Fugit. And then on the B case.
Is there a fine or court responsibility?
There will be. Okay. On the A case, then there'll be a $100 fine, all of the court costs.
Do you want to review that?
We'll do a review hearing on March 3rd, 2025. At 9 a.m. No community service. On the B case, it'll be a $50 fine.
Okay, what about probation next month?
Be 2 years level 4 probation.
Yes.
You said what was the fine on that?
$50. And Mr. Hill, he's held on the Ironton stuff, is that correct, until 3 today?
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
And Mr. Wright was held on the Ironton, position in Ironton until 3 today, is that correct?
It is, Judge. The counseling center is going to pick him up from the jail at 3 o'clock, assuming we got this taken care of, which we now have. So they will pick him up at 3 today.
All right.
From the jail.
Mr. Wright, that will be the court's sentence on this case. You'll have a review hearing date of March 3rd, 2025.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Judge.
At 9 a.m.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Yes, sir. See you, Logan.
State of Ohio versus Richard T. Wright, case number CRA 24577. Kenneth Roberts is on deck.
All right, this is State of Ohio versus Richard T. Wright, CRA 24577. Mr. Wright, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Wright, you're before the court here. It looks like there's a bench warrant out of the Commonwealth of Kentucky, and they're asking for a probation violation, and they're asking that you be sent back to Kentucky on this matter. You have a right to have a hearing, and I can appoint counsel for you if you wish, if you're indigent, on this to determine whether you are the same Richard T. Wright that they are looking for. In doing that, they're asking that you be held with no bond. So if in doing that, we'll be coming back at another day for that hearing. You also have the right, if you wish, to say, hey, I know I'm the guy they're looking for, and I want to go back to Kentucky. You have the right to waive that right to a hearing, and I'll give them 7 days to come pick you up.
Can I say something, Your Honor?
Anything you say is being recorded.
I understand.
Okay.
I filed the interstate compact last year. Y'all, my parole and everything transferred over here. Instead of, wow, that's what I'm on APA supervision for over here, as now. I have never checked in the state of Kentucky or anything like that. They've done this 3 times to me already before, and every time.
Well, let me, go ahead, or go ahead.
The judge gave me 5 days to come get me, and they have never taken out one before. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand why they keep messing with me on this, and it's every time I come to county jail side. And, you know, I know I need to come to the county, obviously. But the thing is, though, is I have no dealings with these people no more, and they keep messing with me.
Well, unless and until you have this taken care of in Kentucky, that warrant's going to come out there. I don't have any authority over the Commonwealth of Kentucky to make them withdraw their warrant. So in the event that you don't go over there and get that taken care of or cleared up, this is just going to keep happening no matter where you are.
I understand, but what's the probation violation? I'm not on probation.
I don't have that information. I'm not privy to that information from the court. So at this point, it's, do you wish to have a counsel, potentially have counsel appointed, or do you wish to waive, and I'll give them? All right. There will be a waiver sent down to the jail for your signature. I'm going to give them 7 days to come get you.
What county is it?
I believe it's Boyd. Let me double check. Boyd County. I'll set another hearing on September 13th. And if they've come to get you and you're not here for that hearing, the case will be dismissed here. If they haven't come to get you, then we'll have a quick hearing to determine whether or not you should be released. But unless and until you get that resolved with Kentucky, this is just going to keep happening. So.
Okay, yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, we'll see you back September 13th at 10 a.m.
All right.
In the event that you are not picked up.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you.
State of Ohio versus Kenneth Roberts, case number CRB 24582. And Danny Sellers is on deck.
All right, this is State of Ohio versus Kenneth Roberts, CRB 24582. Mr. Roberts, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Have you received a copy of your charges?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Roberts, it's alleged that on or about September 6, 2024, in Perry Township, you did, without privilege to do so, enter onto or remain on the land of the premises of another. It's a violation of Ohio Revised Code 2511.21A1, criminal trespass and misdemeanor of the 4th degree. Misdemeanors of the 4th degree carry a maximum penalty of 30 days in jail and a $250 fine. How do you wish to plead?
Guilty.
All right, I will accept your guilty plea. You're going to go ahead and enter a guilty finding. All right. Mr. Roberts, I'm gonna go ahead and sentence you. I'm gonna sentence you to 30 days in the Lawrence County Jail. I'll suspend 29. You've been in 1 day, is that correct?
Sir.
All right, I'll give you credit for your 1 day. We're gonna suspend 29 days. There'll be a $150 fine. I'll order you to pay the court costs. And there'll be 2 years level 4 probation. And as part of that, Mr. Roberts, I'm going to order you to seek an AOD assessment. And you're going to have to abide by any of the treatment recommendations that they make, if any. And I'll make that part of your probation. Be a review hearing. March 3rd, 2025, 9 a.m. And that'll be the court's order. All right, Mr. Roberts, you're going to be released today.
State of Ohio versus Danny Sellards, case number CRB 24504, and Russell Severance is on deck.
This is State of Ohio versus Danny J. Sellards, CRB 24504. Mr. Sellards, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Sellards, it's alleged that on or about August 1st in Fayette Township, you did by force or by threat of force knowingly cause Pamela Hash, family or household member, to believe that you would cause imminent physical harm to her in violation of 2919.25, domestic violence, the misdemeanor of the 4th degree. Misdemeanors of the 4th degree carry a maximum penalty of 30 days in jail and a $250 fine. How do you wish to plead?
Not guilty.
All right, Mr. Sellards, I accept your not guilty plea. Do you wish to be considered for a court-appointed attorney?
I do.
All right, are you presently working?
No, sir.
All right, so you have no income? All right, I'll appoint Attorney Luke Steyer to represent you. Mr. Steyer says Danny Sellards with an M4 domestic violence. Mr. Sellards, is there going to be a protection order requested in this matter?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Sellards, do you have somewhere to go other than around?
Yeah, I do.
All right.
I mean, my truck is there though. I don't know how I'm gonna go about that.
You'll have an attorney that you'll be able to speak to on that.
Yeah, I'll see what I can do regarding that.
My handle will be, it's not a big deal.
Is that agreeable? If he has a third party going to get his truck?
I mean, yeah, as long as there's no problems.
Well, that, I mean, only if you say it's okay, because it's, would be otherwise be a violation of protective order, so I'm asking.
We can call the victim and make sure that there's not a problem.
Okay, do you have a phone number, sir?
Me?
Yes.
I do.
This is a cell phone?
It is
Okay, what's the number?
304-920-5119.
Okay, I'm gonna send you a text at that number. I'm anticipating that we're gonna get you.
Got the phone, I gave her my wallet and my phone.
Who's she when you say that?
My mother.
Is that the alleged victim?
Yeah.
All right, well, that's gonna be a problem then.
I don't need it, I mean,
Well, the issue was I was gonna use it to get in touch with you.
well, I can give you another number, my aunt's. I'm gonna walk over there.
Okay. What's that number?
606-922-3786.
And that's a Kentucky number. Is that a cell phone?
Yes.
Okay, I'll send a text message to that number. When you get out, just text me back and we'll figure out a time to talk, okay?
Okay, sounds good, thank you.
All right. Mr. Seller?
Yes,
I'm going to go ahead, as part of your bond, I'm going to set your bond at $1,000 OR, so I'm going to let you sign a signature bond to get out, but as a condition of that, you're not going to be able to go around or have any contact with Ms. Hash. That is any way, shape, or form, social media, messages, or even having a third party do it absent agreement from the state. You know, I know you have some belongings there, but you're not to have any contact. Do you understand that?
I do. I understand.
All right. Mr. Sellers? We need to set a pretrial for you. Mr. Steyer, how far out are you looking on this?
I feel like we need to come back fairly soon because of the issue with the truck, just to make sure that that gets dealt with peaceably. I'm not available on the 16th, but I'm available on all the other upcoming court dates.
We'll set this back for September 20th for pretrial at 10 a.m.
So you understand you need to be here at the courthouse on the 20th of September?
Yeah, yes.
All right, perfect, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Sellers.
State of Ohio versus Russell A. Severance, case number CRB 24543. And Gregory Sparks is on deck.
Mr. Severance, can you hear me? Okay. Well, if in the event that you can't hear me at any time, I want you to raise your hands up and kind of give me a wave. All right, I'm going to go through the charge with you here. This is State of Ohio versus Russell A. Severance, CRB 24543. Mr. Severance, it's alleged that on or about August 21st in Perry Township, you did knowingly use or possess with purpose to use drug paraphernalia, to wit, one glass smoking pipe. That's a violation of Ohio Revised Code 292514, misdemeanor of the 4th degree. Misdemeanors of the 4th degree carry a maximum penalty of 30 days in jail and a $250 fine. How do you wish to plead?
Guilty, on account I'm not, on account I'm not set up yet to get enough to eat and pay the fine. I'm coming close, I've got a tent and a few things.
All right, Mr. Severance, it's also alleged that you were set in to be at court here on August 23rd, and then it was laid over to August 30th, and that you failed to appear. Do you admit or deny you failed to appear?
Yes, sir, it's because I don't have a roof on my head, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm getting a little close.
I'm going to accept your guilty plea and enter a guilty finding. And what I'm going to do, Mr. Bowles, it appears that from the narrative that you may have an issue with methamphetamine. Do you wish to have, would you like to get treatment?
I do wish to not smoke as much as I do.
Well, that's not terribly encouraging, but that's a good start, I guess.
It's costing me too much money.
You're from Kitts Hill?
My parents live with us.
Okay. Do we have anybody that can assess him? Riverside Recovery is going to give you a call here in a few minutes, Mr. Bowles, and we're going to have you back out after they've done an assessment on you.
State of Ohio versus Gregory A. Sparks, case number CRA 24581, and Roger D. Waller is on deck.
All right, this is State of Ohio versus Gregory A. Sparks, CRA 24581. Mr. Sparks is present on Zoom. All right. Mr. Sparks, it's alleged that on or about September 5th in Fayette Township, you did knowingly obtain, possess, or use methamphetamine, a Schedule II controlled substance. It's a violation of Ohio Revised Code 292511 AC1A. It's a felony of the 5th degree. Maximum penalty for that is up to 1 year in prison and a $2,500 fine. Mr. Sparks, are you presently working?
I was before we had.
Okay. Do you currently have any income?
No.
All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to appoint Attorney Roger Smith to represent you. We could have Roger Smith in the courtroom.
Sorry, Judge.
Sorry. Mr. Smith, this is Gregory Sparks. It's an F5 possession of drugs. And was there an update from me? I see.
Well, he was a patient at OVP Recovery Center and the incident happened there. He brought the drugs into our facility.
Okay.
May we approach, Your Honor?
You may. What was the last one? Attacking here. assessment, or they're doing an assessment. Specific caveat that you would only be released to them. I have no information on you. West Virginia has a ton of options. Yeah, I'm familiar with the program over here, yeah. But I don't know how those go back into treatment. And then we can set up some prelim. Sounds good. All right, Mr. Sparks, I've been told that Huntington Addiction and Wellness Center is going to be doing an assessment on you. Are you aware of that? Are you aware that Huntington Addiction and Wellness Center is going to be coming to do an assessment on you? Okay. Do you want to go back into treatment?
Yeah, yes, sir, yes, sir.
Okay. There's going to be a treatment provider that is going to do an assessment on you to determine whether they can take you or not. But I don't know when that's going to be exactly. So I'm going to set you a bond at 2,500 OR, but you can only be released to Huntington Addiction Wellness Center, if they're willing to take you. We're going to set a, you've got,
As long as you don't talk about your case, if it's just about bond, I'm okay with that, but not about the case.
I don't know that they'll be willing to take me or not.
I don't know that they will or they won't either.
Hey, Bree might be able to speak to that.
I spoke with them before you got called up, and I explained your situation a little bit, and they said that they are willing to take you back, and as soon as you're done speaking with the judge, they're going to call down and get your assessment done.
Okay.
Okay, as long as you're willing to do that, they are willing to take you.
Okay.
And Judge, I am here Monday or Friday, whichever's better for the court for the next hearing. Maybe Friday might be better, just to have a little heads up how he's doing.
I'm gonna give you a $2,500 OR bond, or that you only be released on that bond to Huntington Addiction and Wellness Center, assuming that they'll take you when they have a bed available. And I'm gonna set a preliminary hearing for September 13th at 10 a.m. And Mr. Sparks, if you're released to Huntington Addiction and Wellness Center, you'll need to appear for that hearing on September 13th. Do you understand? All right. So we're back on September 13th.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Your Honor.
Judge.
State of Ohio versus Roger D. Waller, case number CRA 24578. Ron Witherell is on deck.
So the State of Ohio versus Roger D. Waller. All right, Mr. Wallace, can you hear me? Yeah. State of Ohio versus Roger D. Waller, CRA 24578. So this is State of Ohio versus Roger Waller, CRA 24578. Mr. Waller, it looks like there's a warrant for your arrest out of the state of West Virginia, out of Wayne County, that was issued, and you're here on an extradition matter. You have the right to have Wayne County have a hearing, and have Wayne County come over here and prove that you are the Roger Dale Waller that they are looking for. If you want that, to wish to exercise that right, that will not be, it'll get reset for another day, that will not be today. You also have the right to waive your extradition hearing. And if you believe that you are the Roger Waller that they are looking for over in Wayne County.
I guess let's just go ahead and waive it.
Okay.
That way I can get transferred over to West Virginia and see what's actually going on.
All right. I'll find that you've knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily waived your right to extradition. There's going to be an entry sent down to the jail for your signature, and I'm going to give Wayne County 7 days to come pick you up. So we'll come back on here on September 13th at 10 a.m. If they have picked you up, that hearing, we'll get notice of that, and that hearing, the matter will be dismissed here. If they haven't picked you up, then we'll have you appear and try to determine whether or not they had cause to extend that time frame, or whether or not you'll be released at that time.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Waller. We're going to be sending a waiver down for your signature.
Is that it?
That's it. Thank you.
State of Ohio versus Ron Witherell, case number TRC 164698 A, B, and C, CRB 14844 A and B, CRB 131151. And Daniel Bryson will be on deck.
The State of Ohio versus Ron Witherell, TRC 164698, CRB 14844, and CRB 131151. Mr. Witherell, can you hear me?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Witherell, it looks like that back on August 23rd that you failed to appear for a review hearing. Do you admit or deny that you failed to appear for that review hearing?
What was the date again? August
23rd.
23rd? Yeah, I admit I failed to show up.
Okay. Mr. Witherell, are you under any type of supervision from common police court?
Yes, I may speak, Your Honor.
Okay, you may.
We're trying to get some things worked out through Donald Happer, through common police court, and I was supposed to have court Wednesday this week, and they continued it, or they took me off the docket for some reason, to where Donald Happer and the common police judge would get together, maybe try to get me to a treatment center. So if at all possible, maybe I could get a continuance until Judge Capps comes back for next Friday. I don't know if I got court Wednesday and common police court or not, but.
That was going to be my next question was, do you know when you're set there? So I know that it's been, it looks like it had been bumped a couple of times fairly recently. Mr. Major, do you have some insight into?
Yeah, I believe the judge continued just to see if he went to common police court on Wednesday and see what they was going to do with him.
Okay. Well, I think that makes sense to continue to do. Your next possible court date would be the 11th. The 13th is getting awfully crowded. So I'm going to set this back on September 16th. And in the event that you've gone to common police court and that's resolved, that may be able to be advanced, but if not, then we'll check up on September 16th and see where things are there.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Mr. Little.
State of Ohio recalls Daniel Bryson at the Lawrence County Jail, case number TRD 193468, TRD 212208, A and B. Mr. Major had something to say about that.
So State of Ohio versus Daniel Bryson, TRD 193468, TRD 212208. All right. Can you hear me, sir?
I can.
Okay. Mr. Major, you've got some information?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Bryson, the judge had put him, sentenced him to jail time, length of jail time, for the severity of the charges against him. But he had to go to detox at TCC for methadone. Well, while he was there, he contracted COVID, so his report date to the jail was continued on for a couple of weeks, and he'd been put in recently in the jail, and I believe this is just a review to see if the judge will let him out of jail.
Okay. Do we know how many days he's been in at this point?
I do not, Your Honor.
I do. Would you like to know?
We'll see how close you get. You may be spot on. How?
Well, I've been in for 3 weeks as of today, and then I had a couple of days waiting to get to the detox. I'm not sure how the court credits that out yet. So, yeah, I've been in 3 weeks consistently this time, right? 22 days.
That sounds correct, Your Honor.
Okay.
It was at his last review hearings whenever he went in.
My wife is in the courtroom with the fine payment as well today.
She did come in and talk to me, Your Honor, and said she did have a payment on his fines today.
Okay.
He was on ankle monitor when he didn't, when he couldn't go into the jail after completing detox. He did very well. He kept in contact. He wasn't like he was doing anything out of the ordinary. I wouldn't see a reason why he wouldn't let him out, Your Honor.
Okay.
That would be my recommendation.
Do we just need to say a new review then?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Just suspend the rest of his time for the sentence too.
All right. All right, Mr. Bryson, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give you credit for the 21 days that you've been in.
Okay.
I'm going to give you a $2,500 OR bond. And I'm gonna order you back for a hearing on September 16th. At 9 a.m.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. You'll be released today.
All right, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Okay. We'll do some pre-trials while we're waiting. If you have a pretrial, go ahead and come in the courtroom.
Your Honor, so we'll know that the ones we have remaining at the jail are Russell Severs and Brett Mitchell, but nobody's told me if we're ready to do those yet or not. State of Ohio recalls Catherine Monty, case number CRV 24568.
All right, this is State of Ohio versus Catherine Monig. We're recalling this matter on sentencing after Ms. Monig entered a guilty plea to a theft from Walmart. And we have Ms. Monig's screen. And Ms. DeBent, do we know if there's a prescription for any of these?
I do not know if there is, but she informed me that she has a prescription for the amphetamine. She's prescribed by Vance and something else, so.
Okay. Yes. Did you do any type of assessment on her? Or just do?
She's informed me that she's already in outpatient treatment at Family Medical Center.
She's Family Medical?
Since 2018.
Okay. All right, we've already entered you've already entered the plea and we've already guilty finding. So what I'll order is 10 days jail. I'll suspend all 10 days.
Oh, I'm sorry, what?
I will suspend all 10 days.
Okay.
So you're not going to jail.
Oh, okay.
There'll be a $150 fine. I'll order you to pay the court costs, 30 hours of community service, two years of level 4 probation, and you're going to be ordered as part of your probation to continue treating with Family Medical Center. And as part of that, with probation, you're going to have to sign a release to allow Family Medical to give updates to your probation officer to make sure that you are treating.
Okay.
Okay? And there'll be an order to stay out of all Walmarts.
Okay. I'll never do it again, I promise. I'm so sorry. I won't.
All right. We'll set you a review hearing date for March 3rd, 2025, for review at 9 a.m. You'll need to see probation on your left and then see the clerk for your right.
Thank you.
State of Ohio versus Brandon Espinoza, case number TRC 241694 A and B.
To the State of Ohio versus Brandon Espinoza, TRC 241694 A and B. This is Mr. Nash's case. He's here with his client, and the State of Ohio is being represented by Assistant Prosecuting Attorney Phil Hewitt.
Good morning, Your Honor. We are here, this is our first pretrial. Discovery is complete. We have filed a motion on behalf of Mr. Espinoza for his driving privileges. I have a proposed entry signed by the State of Ohio. We are looking at a suppression issue here. We intend to have that motion filed, and so we'd be asking for another pretrial date.
Okay. How far out would you like to go, Mr. Nash, on the pretrial? Or
Would October the-
is there a date that works good for your calendar?
How about October 4th? Would that work? Is that right?
I can set the matter, we'll continue this matter at the defendant's request to...
Thank you, Judge.
October 4th for pretrial at 10 a.m. And if you wish to approach, I'll
Thank you.
take a look at your driving privilege.
Said the
Four. I'll just look at the time. The clerk file my copies and I'll go ahead and hand you these files and take it back with you. All right, thank you. You as well, Mr. Nash.
I didn't know if you had something to say here.
Well, yeah, we can do the time waiver. That's what
State of Ohio versus David Gilman, case number CRB 24371. David Gilman.
This is the State of Ohio versus David Gilman, CRB 24371.
He's in Logan. He did do his mental health assessment, but he is not here today.
All right, this is Mr. Smith's case.
It is, Judge.
And state's represented by Attorney Keel. Mr. Smith, any update from, other than the one from OVP?
Judge, just the one from OVP. Looks, I remember this fella because he's down in Logan, their OVP office down there. But I don't know why he's not in court today.
When he came in last time, he hadn't been to any appointments or anything, so I sat him down and explained to him again what he needed to do. He's an older gentleman, and he did go and do the assessment, but we haven't heard from him since, so.
Was he scheduled back?
Yeah, they were going to see him weekly, and then he was seen on the 7th.
Mr. Smith?
Judge, he's doing well. I would ask for a one-week continuance instead of additional warrant. Let me find out, because he's an older gentleman. I don't know if he's gotten confused, but he was doing what he's supposed to. I don't know the state's position.
Yeah.
Mr. Gill?
That's fine.
And if he didn't show up next Friday, then what happens, happens. I'll reach out to him.
All right. We'll continue at the defendant's request, just to September 13th for pretrial, 10 a.m.
We'll waive time, Judge.
I'll make the time waiver by
Yes.
counsel. Thank you, Mr. Smith.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mill.
Thanks.
State of Ohio versus Cody J.W. Mead, case number TRC 23152, A, B, and C, TRC 221690, A and B, TRD 222101, A and B.
This is State of Ohio versus Cody J. Mead, TRC 23152, TRC 221690, TRD 222101. You may. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mead is present today, represented by his counsel, Mr. Smith, state represented by Attorney Philip Keel.
Here's the report I just received and Your Honor's received. Looks like he's have patient, doing well, he's compliant with treatment. At this time, I don't know if we're in position yet for sentencing, but we should be getting closer. He's been at this for a while.
Yeah, and he's doing well.
Mr. Mead, I'm encouraged by your progress in treatment. I'm not ready to just go ahead and sentence on this. I'll give you a little bit more time here.
I understand.
Mr. Smith, how's your schedule for October the 7th?
Yeah, early October I'm good, middle's bad. Let me just double check. Well, I say that actually, I've got a permanent custody hearing at 9 a.m. in probate juvenile court. I'm here the 4th of October, or...
We could do the 4th.
Okay. Yeah, I'm here. I got 3 other cases that day.
We'll continue this at the defendant's request. October 4th, 2024, 10 a.m. for a free trial.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Your Honor.
State of Ohio versus William Baker, case number CRB 24332.
The State of Ohio versus William Baker, CRB 24332. Mr. Baker is present. He's moved as attorney, Mr. Stratton, state represented by Attorney Philip Keel. Matter set for pre-trial. You may. All right, overall, it's a really good report, Mr. Baker.
Yes, sir. Your Honor, we'll just continue to another date, maybe in about a month.
Okay. Mr. Stratton, how's October 7th?
Sounds good, Your Honor.
Matter will be continued at defendant's request to October 7th for pre-trial. And Mr. Baker, you're doing a great job. Keep it up.
Thank you, sir. All right, thank you.
State of Ohio versus Jeffrey S. Collins, case number TRD 241521 A&B.
State of Ohio versus Jeffrey Collins, TRD 241521 A&B. Mr. Collins is present with his attorney, Mr. Stratton, state represented by Attorney Philip Keel. Mr. Stratton.
Just a second, Your Honor. His license checked up, so.
Okay. I don't have any recommendation, just ask the judge. Make a recommendation.
Just break the DUIs. Just go to a small fine. Your Honor, it's driving under a suspended license, so we'll just go ahead and plead guilty to that. Resolve that matter today. He's not able to get his license straightened up. There's some issues with that at the moment, so we just ask that it'll be minimum fine on that, if minimum fine it costs.
Okay. Mr. Keel?
We don't take any position, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Collins, is it your intention to enter guilty plea to both charges today?
Yes, sir.
All right, I accept your guilty plea. I'll enter guilty finding to both charges. On the driving under suspension, it's an M1. I'll do 10 days jail, all suspended. Be a $100 fine. We pay the court costs. Two years level 4 probation.
Review date.
On the B case, it'll be a $20 fine. And it'll be a review date of March 3rd, 2025 at 9 a.m.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Collins. You'll need to see probation before you go.
All right.
State of Ohio versus Destiny Pratt, case number CRV 24520.
To the State of Ohio versus Destin Pratt, CRB 24520. Ms. Pratt is present with her attorney, Mr. Stratton. And
Your
state's
Honor.
represented by Attorney Phillips.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Mr. Stratton.
Your Honor, we just received the video today, so we just asked this to be set for another pretrial.
October 7th.
Yes, that'll work. Is that good? Okay. October 7th.
Defendant's request, this matter will be continued to October 7th for pretrial at 10 a.m.
State of Ohio versus Emily A. Smith, case number CRV 23627.
To the State of Ohio versus Emily A. Smith, CRB 23627. Emily Smith.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Smith is present via Zoom with her attorney, Mr. Stratton, present here in the courtroom. State's represented by Attorney Phillips.
Your Honor, Ms. Smith is at hometown with an ankle monitor, right?
She is.
And she's just been there.
We got her, I believe it was last Friday.
Last Friday, yes.
Yeah, she tested positive for COVID this Wednesday, so that's why she can't be here. But she's struggling a little bit, but she's trying to adjust to the program. So.
Okay. So still in the adjustment phase?
Yep.
Yes.
All right. Ms. Smith, you may want to, before you speak, you may want to speak with Mr. Stratton first.
Your Honor, I don't believe she's speaking on the merits of the case. I think it had to do with the treatment, so I'll let her go ahead and speak. Go ahead, Emily.
Your Honor, I did have a matter I'm here to address with the courts. I had a failure to object. I completed a VP treatment and graduated in June, and I have been in outpatient since then. I had a failure to appear at court for a drug test. I was off my mental health medication. But now that I'm back on my mental health medication, I have been wondering if upon a mental health assessment, I could just continue my outpatient treatment.
Well, Ms. Smith, as far as that goes, I don't deal with the mental health assessments. I don't deal with the treatment component. That is up to the provider that has assessed you, and if they've assessed you and said you need inpatient treatment, that's what the court's order is going to be. If they decide at any point that you no longer need that, they can make that recommendation, and that's their position at that point, and that I'm sure would happen. But
Your Honor, my mental health was just not in a good place, and I do a lot better in outpatient because of my mental health that I deal with. I have social phobia and bipolar and PTSD. It's very hard for me in an inpatient setting to be successful, and I was hoping that as long as I'm on my medications and everything, I mean, I will not have a problem with continuing outpatient on my ankle monitor.
well, let me do this. Your treatment provider is here today, so I'll ask them what they think about that.
Can I speak? Your Honor, Judge Capper is very familiar with this case, very familiar with this client, and I understand that you are not. She's only been in there a week. I know that Judge Capper would most likely want her to stay in there, so that's what I know he wants, and I'm sure the provider's going to recommend the same thing, so.
Yeah, we would recommend the same thing.
Well, and that, Ms. Smith, now's not the time to talk. Your provider has recommended that you're staying there, so that's what the court's order is going to be at this time. So, Mr. Stratton, when do you want to come back?
Well, it sounds like that she wants to try outpatient, a couple weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're kind of full up until probably October the 7th.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, so I'll set this back for October 7th for a pretrial at 10 a.m. Thank you, Mr. Stratton.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Can I say one more thing?
No, ma'am?
State of Ohio versus John T. Wellman, case number CRB 24444.
This is the State of Ohio versus John T. Wellman, CRB 24444. Mr. Wellman's present with his attorney, Mr. Stratton, and state's represented by Attorney Philip Heald.
Your Honor, we had an arraignment on the 2nd of August. He was referred to RRS, and, well,
Your Honor, he is not applying for treatment. He hasn't been attending services regularly. He was last screened on August 24th, positive for alcohol and THC. According to his last report,
I took the drug screen, I agreed to do the drug screen, I took the assessment, I had to admit that they canceled meetings and stuff because I don't need them, I just need that woman out of my truck.
I know, but part of that is doing this. Part of resolving this case is agreeing to that, like the judge had to work on.
Well, she lied about the whole deal. I mean,
Here's what I'm going to do. It was part of your bond that you go get the assessment and follow up with that. So, Mr. Wellman, I'm going to go ahead and, can we get Mr. Major and Mr. Cooper in the courtroom?
Okay.
Mr. Cooper, I'm going to go ahead and for the time being, I'm going to remand Mr. Wellman into custody, and we will have him back out shortly and figure out what way we're going to go with this. And I was going to say, Mr. Stratton, Mr. Heald, if you would approach.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
If you, Mr. Heald and Mr. Stratton, if you guys would approach real fast.
Yes.
I'm going to have him back out. I'm not going to keep him here all day. I'm going to let him continue to do what he's doing. That's just going to cost me the next time. This is going to be different. I'm just going to get roll. That's all I said. Yeah, I'll give you some time. Like I said, I'm going to sit for a few minutes, but I'm not going to keep you all day.
State of Ohio versus Claudia Ann Cyrus, case number CRB 24447.
So the State of Ohio versus Claudia Ann Cyrus, CRB 24447. This is Mr. Tyler's case, and the state's representative.
How long is supposed to do?
Matter set for a trial.
You got all that? Yeah. Okay, all right. Your Honor, this is a case that we had continued from last month to allow Ms. Cyrus to come up with her money to pay restitution. I believe that she has it today, the full amount, which was, I believe, $547.52.
No, because I want to discuss.
The restitution would be owed to Denita, D-E-N-I-T-A, Ambergy, A-M-B-U-R-G-E-Y. And we can give you an address too.
Yeah, no.
What is 26?
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening.
Well, we're just making sure that it's just a pre-trial. I mean, it's just, well, that's a pre-trial. It's not, it's right.
I know, I want it to be done today.
Part of it was the dog table where it was.
I don't understand why I have to do that. But he's not considered an animal. It's gonna change all of his terms and everything. The dog is not vicious. If that's what I have to do, then that's what I have to do. I don't want to. That will have implications for the rest of my life. Get that too.
That was part of it. With the dog tables, you could do the fence because you need the property.
Other than a restitution issue, I don't know, is it, how much plea is there? I don't know if the,
Yeah, I don't know
what anyone's position is on this, or if there's going to be a position.
Last hearing, the first sentencing, and I spoke with the judge kind of later. Maybe they can come back today.
Yes.
It's what, it's a separate pre-trial.
The victim was a child, a 7-year-old boy.
There's victim impact in here.
The thing about this is that, and what I'm going to say does not apply, I'm not blaming this lady for all of the cases we're having like this recently, but we've got a epidemic of dogs getting loose from their owners and biting other people, and in particular children. And I don't know why it is all of a sudden. I don't think that I recall, I've been in this court in one capacity or another for about 25 or 30 years, and I don't remember this many of these. It's a serious matter when, especially, when a dog gets loose and gets in somebody's flower garden, that's one thing. When a dog gets loose and bites another person, that's another thing. That makes them a dangerous dog, whether they've ever done it before or not, according to the case law in this state. The law sets forth sanctions for a dangerous dog, and one of them is that there have to be appropriate enclosures to keep the dog, to ensure that the dog doesn't get out again. For specific homeowners insurance, which includes liability insurance for the dog biting somebody, and for a dangerous dog registration through the county, as well as the restitution. So we had talked about those things. We're willing to treat it as a minor misdemeanor, except that we would like the court also to consider those sanctions because of the possibility of future incidents. We don't want to have this repeated.
The only thing that can't be done in states where that it's an apartment complex, she doesn't own the property, so she can't enclose the dog, she can't fence the property. So they've agreed that can't be one of the components of it. We did talk about the restitution, which she does have the money now. She will pay the clerk as soon as it's over. So as far as the other part of it, I mean, she had now advised her before that she has to do the dog tag, and it will, obviously, the homeowner's insurance, she'll have to do that. So.
What is the minor misdemeanor that you're amending to?
Under the same section, 955, 22, probably A. And I just had a note that we agreed to do that, and I assumed that was something that I spoke to Mr. Smith about previously.
We did. We talked about it the last time.
However, we would also ask for those other sanctions. To the extent that the court feels that they are either possible or, I understand about the fence.
Yeah, it's out of her control. She obviously can't fence somebody else's property.
It's going to be a minor misdemeanor. What plea is your client wanting in, Mr. Smith?
I think she's right. I thought we pled to minor misdemeanor last time. That's what I had.
Okay, I do see that there was a sentencing, but then it was continued, it was set as a pretrial, so
Yeah,
I just
it's
noticed the sentencing.
to get the money. That's
Okay.
So I think we've already pled at the last hearing. It's just trying to
Alright.
get restitution because we need time to do that.
It'll be a $50 fine, court costs, 1 year level 5 probation.
Teacher, I can't go on my background check.
It's a minor misdemeanor.
And as part of that, obviously you can't fence your property, but you'll be required to make sure the dog's registered and tagged, and that you have insurance to cover the dog. We'll set your review hearing for March 3rd, 2025, for review at 9 a.m. If you've got your fines and court costs paid off, you don't have to appear for that hearing. If you do not, you'll have to appear and explain why you haven't gotten it completed yet, or ask for more time if you need more time.
Can I pay it all today?
You can.
Thank you.
If you paid today, there will be no review hearing.
Thank you.
All right, you'll show me the probation before you go, and then see the clerk to pay and do your restitution. The restitution ordered is going to be $547.52, and that is to Danita and Ambergy.
Amburgey.
Okay. It's, we need an EY on the end of Ambergy. All right, I'll do court order. We'll see probation.
State of Ohio versus Michael Atkinson, case number CRB 24353.
This is the State of Ohio versus Michael Atkinson, CRB 24353. Mr. Atkinson is present with his attorney, Mr. Steyer, and the State Attorney by Attorney Philip.
Your Honor, I have a report from Pat Behavioral Health Commissioner, Mr. Hill, real quick, that I'm going to bring it forward.
I'll take a look and see.
I had this was a 90-day with no costs and proof of treatment.
I would also like to say something. I have another court date coming up on the 13th for an assault that happened while I was in treatment.
Hang on a second, hang on. Is that,
It's not for me, I'm the victim of
oh,
an
okay,
assault
yeah, I recall that now.
for being at a facility.
Where's that, is that pending here?
Yes, it is.
Okay. But that's a separate issue.
Yes.
And we're aware of that, and this is this happens so frequently that a special prosecutor may be implicated. However, we also recognize the fact that Mr. Atkinson is doing well in the program that he's in at PATH, and we encourage him to continue that. And it may be something that is ongoing even after this case is completed. The alleged victim in this matter just wanted to see that gets done. So I think under the circumstances, we had discussed a 90-day continuance, and
we discussed
89 days.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
we're okay to go ahead and dismiss these charges with the payment of court costs today.
The agreement was without costs on this one.
I've got a note that says it's without costs.
Okay, I was trying to sneak one by. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, that's fine.
All right, Mr. Atkinson, based upon the state's motion, I'll grant that, and this matter is hereby dismissed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Be back here on 13th, whatever the other issue is.
State of Ohio versus Hunter Tooley. Case number CRB 24385, A and B, CRB 24329, CRA 24328, CRB 24292, CRB 23147. Hunter Tooley.
Good morning, Your Honor.
This is State of Ohio versus Hunter Tooley, CRB 24385, CRB 24329, CRA 24378, CRB 24292, and CRB 24147. Mr. Morford's case, Mr. Tooley is now present, and the state's represented by Mr. Heald. Got a note that Mr. Tooley is back in hometown recovery.
Judge, he is at hometown. We didn't get a written report for you, but I believe that she can give you a verbal report.
I can give you a verbal report. He just came back to us, I believe it was last Friday, but he's doing okay so far.
Okay. Mr. Morford, how far out do you want to go?
Judge?
I would rather come back kind of sooner than later on this one.
You're reading my mind.
But our dockets are getting kind of full here. Let's see if we can. How about September 23rd? September 23rd. Are you available, Mr. Morford?
Yes, Judge, I am.
I'll set this for September 23rd, pretrial 10 a.m.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Prepare a time waiver, of course.
We will obey time.
All right, I'll note the
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your
time waiver
Honor.
on behalf of the defense. Thank you, Mr. Morford.
State of Ohio versus Shannon Bowles. Case number CRB 24521, PRC 194045.
The State of Ohio versus Shannon Boggs, CRB 24521 and PRC 194045. Mr. Boggs is present with his attorney, Mr. Morford, and state represented by attorney Phil Heald.
Let me just try because there's too many. She's back there.
just get some new charges. You got several new charges too. Okay, well, how was it dealt with? I'm sorry.
There's currently 4 different reports that have been made, and then
All right, well, Mr. Boggs, this is not a good report at all. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and, since this is treatment as part of your bond in this matter, I'm going to go ahead and remain you in custody, and we'll have you back out here in a bit to determine what we're going to do with you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Judge.
State of Ohio versus Caitlin Moore, case number CRA 24-243, CRB 24-244, CRB 24-337, CRB 24-409.
The State of Ohio versus Caitlin Moore, CRA 24-243, CRB 24-337, CRB 24-409. Ms. Moore is present here today with her attorney, Mr. Morford, and the state's represented by Mr. Heald. This matter set for recess.
So, does she have a case pending in common pleas court?
is there something I need to listen for specifically?
Yes, she has a pretrial on September 11th.
Okay.
So she has a case pending in common pleas court, and we had agreed previously to kind of let this case track behind the more serious case. So it's set for September 11th, so if they're in agreement, we would suggest moving it beyond that.
Judge, I think that'd be the most prudent course of action with your approval, of course. There is a lot going on between Miss Moore and
We're still married?
soon-to-be ex-husband.
Okay. At defendant's request, then I will continue this matter to September 27th for pretrial at 10 a.m.
We would waive time, Judge.
I will note the time waiver for the record, Mr. Walford.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
State of Ohio versus Michael Gearhart, case number CRB 24-424, A and B. Michael Gearhart.
The State of Ohio versus Michael Gearhart, CRB 24-474, A and B. Michael Gearhart. It appears Mr. Gearhart has not appeared here today, and there's a note that he was going to hire counsel.
I'm sorry.
Does not appear anybody's appeared on his behalf.
Okay.
And state represented by Mr. Heald. Based upon the failure to appear, being KP or Stitch. For the failure.
State of Ohio versus Garrett L. Hosey, case number PRD 24-742, PRD 23-1844. Garrett Hosey.
The State of Ohio versus Garrett Hosey, PRD 24-742, PRD 23-1844. Garrett Hosey. I'm from 1208 here, I'm Mr. Hosey, on the site of this court at 10 a.m. Mr. Smith, is this your case?
Yes, Your Honor, I see on the docket, my name's not on there, but I was appointed, Mr. Hosey. I've had no contact since the arraignment. In fact, he left out before I could even have a chance to speak to him, so I couldn't get any contact information.
Based upon the failure to appear and the lack of communication with counsel, it would be a contempt issue.
State of Ohio versus Alina Pennington, case number TRC 161593, A, B, and C.
It's the State of Ohio versus Alina Pennington, TRC 161593, A, B, and C. Mr. Pennington is present here in court today with the attorney, Mr. Steyer, State Representative by Mr. Hewitt. This matter is set for second trial.
Can I approach, Your Honor?
You may. That was a very good report.
Thank you.
Steyer, I presume you're going to want to come back on another date?
If that's the court's preference, we're here on sentencing, so we can wrap this up or we can come back another day.
I think probably needs just a little bit more time on or any idea what her expected completion date would be?
Not for at least another 3 months, I would say.
Okay, so it's going to be a little while. Mr. Steyer, since she's doing so well, are you available October 25th?
I am.
All right. Continue this to October 25th for sentencing at 10 a.m.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Good work.
State of Ohio versus Brian A. Montroso, case number CRA 24558 A and B, and CRB 24559.
This is State of Ohio versus Brian Montroso, CRA 24558 A and B. And this matter is set for preliminary hearing. It's Mr. Morford's case. Or excuse me, Mr. Tylerson's case.
Yes, I have it for preliminary. I believe Mr. Morford has one for trial today.
Okay. And then
The trial is case number CRB 24499 A, B, and C. Mr. Morford.
Mr. Morford in the courtroom.
He's got to plead to the other cases, the misdemeanor cases that are for trial. I understand.
I don't have any control of that.
I know you don't, but his lawyer there does. And we'd be willing to keep these here on a short leash.
Well, it looks like there's just being an offer. We were just kind of calling this at this point to see if it was going to go, so.
Yeah.
What I'll do is we'll recall this
That's
and
fine.
get Mr. Smith and Mr. Morford.
Yeah.
It sounds like from what the state's indicating, you guys are going to have to work together on this.
It sounds like it.
So we'll recall this here shortly,
Okay.
and figure out whether or not we're going to have a trial and go over here.
Will do, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll be on a second. I'll wait.
State of Ohio recalls John T. Wellman, case number CRB 24444.
Mr. Cooper, I believe, is in the hold, so.
Your Honor, I had spoken with Mr. Wellman, and Mr. Wellman will do better. He is okay with staying in it, doing what he needs to do for the court. I think his matter is going to have a favorable resolution. We just need to abide by what the court wants us to do.
All right. Mr. Wellman, I'm going to talk to you a little bit here. I'm going to talk to you here for a second.
He's hard of hearing, Your Honor.
And I'm going to try to speak up so that you can hear me. But this was an absolutely terrible report that you got today. And in most situations, I would be inclined to revoke your bond. And then you'd be going to Lawrence County Jail. However, I'm going to give you one more chance at this. You understand? So that means if your treatment provider tells you that you have to do something, there's no, I don't want to do that, or I want to do something else, or I want to do whatever you want to do. You have to do what they want you to do. Do you understand that? No questions. Understood? No questions to them about whether they want you to do it. If they want you to do it, you got to do it. Do you understand that? All right. I'm going to go ahead and release you. I'm not going to amend your bond at this time, so I'm going to leave you under the same bond that you're under. However, if I get another negative report from your treatment provider, it's not going to go the same way as it did today. Do you understand that? Yeah. All right, this is your last chance. All right, so let's go ahead and set a new date. What? Hang on, you can stay out here. Let's go ahead and set a new date.
Yes.
Let's come back on October 4th. For pretrial at 10 a.m.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Wellman, do better, okay? Do better, okay?
What date are we coming back on that?
October 4th.
State of Ohio versus Brittany Smith, case number CRB 24171. Your Honor, set your sentence.
This is State of Ohio versus Brittany Smith, CRB 24171. And Ms. Smith is present here in court today with her attorney, Mr. Roger Smith, state's represented by Attorney Philip Field. You may.
That's fine.
Thank you.
She's doing really well.
Yeah.
Well, Ms. Smith, that is a fantastic report.
I told the judge she looks better. She's doing well.
Yes.
That's fantastic. All right. Mr. Smith, I presume you want to come back on it.
Yes, Judge. I'm here that October 4th date. It's about a month out, or if you want to go further.
We can do October 4th.
Okay.
Do sentencing at 10 a.m. on October 4th. Ms. Smith, keep up the good work.
All right, thank you.
You're a couple months in, but you're doing a fantastic job.
All right, awesome, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
It's on the sentence.
State of Ohio versus Leslie D. Southern, case number CRA 23708.
This is State of Ohio versus Leslie B. Southers, CRA 23708. Ms. Southers is present with her attorney, Mr. Roger Smith. State represented by Mr. Field. Haley Approach. Ms. Southers, this as well is a wonderful report.
Thank you.
Like the House leader, I understand.
Yes.
Congratulations. Great.
And I started my peer support classes.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very
Doing
nice.
good.
She's on track.
Doing big things.
Well, based upon that, we'll come back and let's go out, since you're doing so well, we're going to go out a little bit further.
That'd be fine, Judge. Just the middle part of October is bad. The end is fine.
Why don't we do October 25th? Is that all right with you, Mr. Smith?
That's far enough out. Yes, Judge, it is.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Keep up the good work.
October 25th at 10 a.m. for sentencing.
Sounds like a plan.
State of Ohio recalls Brett Mitchell at the Lawrence County Jail, case number CRB 15891. Brett,
That's just a check.
Russell Severs is on deck.
All right, this is State of Ohio versus Brett Mitchell, CRB 15891. Mr. Mitchell, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. We were on record and we recalled this case to have Mr. Mitchell assessed by RRS.
Your Honor, I spoke with him, but unfortunately due to his insurance, I can't place him.
Okay. What type of insurance does he have?
West Virginia Medical Card.
All right.
I spoke with Mr. Mint from OVP and they don't have him medical there either.
Okay. Well, here's what we're going to do. Mr. Mitchell, I'm going to have you recalled again here shortly because I want to try to explore some other options. So we'll have you recalled again here shortly.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
State of Ohio recalls Russell A. Severance at the Lawrence County Jail, case number CRB 24543.
All right, this is State of Ohio versus Russell A. Severance, CRB 24543. While we're waiting on Mr. Severance.
I can't place him. He does not want to address his mental health, and it's my clinical director said no.
Okay. When you say he did not want to...
He's diagnosed schizophrenic, and he doesn't want to take any medications or have a mental health evaluation, anything.
We'll recall Mr. Severance as well.
Thank you. I'll reach out to Municipal and see if they don't have it.
Okay, thank you.
State of Ohio versus Brian A. Montroso, case number CRA 24558 A and B, and case number CRB 24499 A, B, and C.
All right, this is State of Ohio versus Brian A. Montroso, CRA 24558 A and B. We also have CRB 24499 A, B, and C, CRB 1733, CRB 15543, CRB 14593, and PRC 111387. In case number CRA 24558, that is Mr. Montroso is represented by Mr. Tyler Smith. The remainder of the cases that are set today for a trial, Mr. Montroso is represented by Mr. Morford. Mr. Hill's representing the state, gentlemen.
Your Honor, I've talked to Mr. Montroso. He has obviously the more serious charge of the F3 two F3s actually, one's the traffic and one's possession charge. Part of an offer that was made was to keep it here and let him go through treatment and plead to the misdemeanor charges that Mr. Morford's handling. After talking with him, he has advised me that he does not want to pursue treatment. I've talked to Mr. Hill. It looks like they're going to pursue it with for grand jury. He is out on bond currently, so at this point, we're going to go ahead and waive preliminary hearing with the opportunity to transfer the bond once he gets to Compton Police Court if he is in fact indicted. So at this time, we will waive preliminary hearing.
Okay. Mr. Montroso, is what your attorney represented to the court correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Need a waiver?
I live in the courthouse.
What do you have an address I can give it to, so they'll send it some?
Last thing my mail there.
Yeah. I know, they got a survey personally. They will send it in the mail, so.
Well, I'll be there. I mean, I'm a good person.
You're going to be the same residents if they come to your place to
Right.
serve you? Okay.
All right, Mr. Montroso, I see your signature on this form. Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
And you understand that you have a right to have a preliminary hearing in this matter, and that by proceeding with this waiver, you are agreeing to waive that preliminary hearing in order to keep your bond in place.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'll find that Mr. Montroso has knowingly and intelligently waived his right to preliminary hearing. Matter will be bound over to the grand jury.
Thank you, Your Honor. You're still with him? Yes, thank you.
Mr. Morford?
Judge, I believe we have a resolution for your approval. Mr. Montroso is going to change his plea to no contest because the charge that was supposed to start the trial at the end of the day. He would change his plea to no contest with the requisite stipulation of findings of fact for guilty. I believe the other matters were he may owe the court some money and or community service.
All right. Mr. Montroso, is what your attorney representing to the court, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And that is on the
Resisting.
The A, there's a resisting and obstruction of official business as a M2 and a criminal trespass as an M4. And you wish to enter the no contest plea and stipulate the guilty finding on each of those?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I will accept your no contest plea and I'll enter a guilty finding. On the A case, or actually, before we proceed to sentencing on this, Mr. Montroso, I'm going to have you drug screen and potentially assess to determine whether treatment will be a component of my sentence.
And Your Honor, also, Mr. Holland is here. He was the property owner where the criminal trespass took place. I don't know if he wants to say anything to the court or not, or if this is the appropriate time, but I thought he may have other things he needs to do today.
If there's anything you wish to say, Mr. Holland, you're welcome to do
Just
so.
that I don't know him, and it was the first time I've seen him.
Okay. I'm going to order you drug screen, and then we'll determine what the appropriate sentence is going to be after completing the session.
Thank you, Judge.
That'll be your call.
State of Ohio versus Contamet Gomez, case number CRB 24416. Set for sentencing.
This is State of Ohio versus Contamet v. Gomez, CRB 24416. Mr. Gomez is present here. And his attorney is Mr. Tyler Smith. Tyler Smith, can you come to the courtroom?
Looking out where?
And state's represented by Mr.
No, she was on the video.
Yeah, but after that, she's
Out there.
Yeah.
You may. All right, Mr. Gomez, that's a good report. Mr. Smith, you want to come back on another day?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is there a good date in October that you're looking at? Or
I'd say maybe 30 days out, maybe the first or second week of October.
October 7th?
That's fine.
Set this for October 7th for sentencing, 10 a.m. Good work, Mr. Gomez. Keep it up.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor.
State of Ohio versus recalls Emily A. Smith, case number CRB 23627.
Your Honor, I received a text message from Kathy Lewis of hometown advising that after she got off the teleconference, she is now causing problems and they're going to discharge her for behavioral. I need an order to have her arrested. It's on GPS monitor.
We'll go ahead and issue that order and brought back to the court once at the next available date.
So we'll just set it for Monday.
Yeah, it'll still on for Monday. So the October 7th date in this matter will be vacated, and this matter will be set for September 9th.
All right.
And that'll be based upon the bond being that she be in treatment, and if she's going to be discharged, that will be about
That looks about right, Your Honor.
Need to make it now instead of now.
Yeah.
It could also be looked at if they consent, if they look at it and try to interpret that as a not revert.
Yeah.
That should be fine. I've revoked Mrs. Smith's bond in that matter. The order for the sheriff to arrest her.
State of Ohio versus Vicky Scarberry, case number TRC 241272, A and B.
So State of Ohio versus Vicky Scarberry, TRC 241272. Vicky Scarberry.
She's not here, Your Honor. I've looked for her. We were here, just be here a week ago. Her daughter was in the hospital. She called from the hospital, confirmed she was there. So we continued to Tuesday, give her a chance. I didn't know if her child had been released or not. I left a message on her phone, voicemail, call. She didn't call the court, she didn't call me. And so I was hoping she'd be here today. She still hasn't called me back. So I don't know if she's getting the messages or what's happened to her, but if there is a bench warrant issued, I'd ask them to give me an opportunity to at least get her in, hopefully Monday or next Friday.
There'll be a bench warrant issued for failure to appear in 7 days.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Smith.
Yeah. Yeah.
State of Ohio versus Kara Hearn, case number CRB 2381.
The State of Ohio versus Kara Hearn, CRB 2381. Ms. Hearn is present with her attorney, Mr. Stratton.
Oh, look at that.
And State Representative.
Yeah, that's nice.
Ms. Hearn, that's just about as good a report as I've gotten today.
Thank you.
Congratulations on your completion.
Thank you. And I just want to let everybody at the court and the staff up at Bethesda know how much I appreciate everything they've done for me.
We appreciate you being diligent and doing your end of it. I mean, as much work as they try to put into you, it's just as much work that you were putting into it for yourself.
Well, I appreciate the faith that they had in me.
That's great.
Yep,
That's
thanks.
awesome.
Congratulations.
That's fantastic.
All right, gentlemen, how would you?
So where we go from here? Oh, did you get a copy of the report?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. What do you think?
That's what she's doing.
Well, the time to send her to outpatient.
Yeah, well, on the 6th, she won't say that until 6.
Okay. Well, let's get another report after that.
One more report? One more report with her on outpatient.
Okay.
And then we'll probably be done, so. Maybe a month out, Your Honor?
We can do that. October 7th?
Yes.
All right. Set this for October 7th for sentencing, 10 a.m. Note that if there's a good report, then we can probably close this case out.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Hearn. Fantastic job.
Thank you.
State of Ohio versus Alina Pennington, case number CRA 24-180 and CRB 24-181. Alina Pennington.
The State of Mr. Steyer's case. The State of Ohio versus Alina Pennington, CRA 24-180, CRB 24-181.
I thought we already,
I thought
We moved it to September, but no,
October 25th?
I thought we would do
This was set for sentencing.
I believe Mr. Steiner is going, Your Honor.
Yeah,
Ms.
that,
Pennington was here.
Yeah,
last
we-
month.
we called it, and was there another,
it must have been another case.
must have been another case that was together. Okay. Did we pull that up and see if she's got
I
another
got
case?
a note that says good report today.
I've got my cases pulled up, but I didn't change anything. This one was not, this, 180 was not. And 181 was set for sentencing today.
That's what it was, it was separated.
Yeah, there was a pretrial today, TRC 16-15-93, and there was also this sentencing.
The TRC case, when did we set that for?
What's that number?
It's TRC 16-15-93.
Inpatient counseling centers.
I'm going to set it for the same time, same date as the other one.
It was October 25th.
Okay. Court on its own motion is going to set this matter for October 25th, 24, at the same time as, at 10 a.m. for sentencing. And it's set for the same date as another case. She has that same date that we called earlier.
State of Ohio versus Donald J. Wilson Jr., case number TRC 072723, A, B, and C.
This is State of Ohio versus Donald J. Wilson Jr., TRC 072723. The matter is set for a sentencing here today. All right, looks like you finished all your community service up,
Yes, sir.
and you just got fines and costs, and actually might be some restitution in there. No, it's fines and costs. Looks like you paid off $90 on that. You can, I mean, I know that you don't look like you're in much situation
Can't
in
do
a
it.
second.
We have talked to her on it.
Yeah, we've talked about it. I can't do it.
Okay. Well, I'll set you back. You've made progress, so I'll set you back on October 7th.
I have surgery on September the 25th.
Okay.
Is there any way I can move it a little bit further in October?
How about October 28th?
Sure.
Okay. We'll do October 28th for sentencing at 10 a.m.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
State of Ohio recalls Brian Montroso, case number CRB 24499, A, B, and C.
This is the State of Ohio versus Brian Montroso, CRB 24499, A, B, and C, CRB 1733, CRB 15543, CRB 14593, and TRC 111387, A and B. Matter set for a trial at noon today, and Mr. Montroso had entered a no contest plea and they stipulated to a guilty finding, and then we had Mr. Montroso drug screened, and he was negative for all substances. So, Mr. Heel, is there a sentencing recommendation from the state?
This incident involved a resisting arrest, going onto somebody else's property and into a enclosure there on the property, and running from the police. After this happened, and the gentleman that was here before, Mr. Holland, he actually went into the building, the outbuilding, and found a bundle of hypodermic needles, which weren't his, and he took them to the sheriff's office. And the only thing he knows is they probably came from Mr. Montroso being on his property. He may have tested negative today, but he also now has these charges that are going to the grand jury.
Well, do you think that Mr. Montroso would benefit from an assessment today?
We think that he would. And, you know, what we'd like to do is, I mean, this could all be a big misunderstanding. He may not have any drug issues whatsoever, but it sure looks like he does. And we would be willing to keep everything here if he would acknowledge that. And of course, I could be wrong. The assessment might come back that he has no problems whatsoever. But if he does, he's better off to leave things here, especially because he's a third-degree felony charges on the other cases. And I realize his lawyer's not here to raise.
I'm with you. Right there.
But If he wants to do that, I mean, I think if you just take the misdemeanor charges as they occurred, I think it deserves jail time. I think it deserves at least 30 days in jail. So we'd ask for 90 days with 60 suspended. But if you would rather take seriously the idea of being assessed for treatment and be honest about that, then we would rather go that route and not have him in jail. But then at that point, he may want to reconsider what he wants to do with these other felony charges because, you know, here's the thing too. We've got these charges, third-degree felonies. They might be second-degree felonies. I don't know about the school zone situation. That just came to my mind. I mean, it could be a lot more serious. It could be a presumption of prison time if he goes to the grand jury. So just wanted to throw all that out there.
Well, Mr. Montroso, I think I want to have you, go ahead and have you assessed as well.
What is it?
For alcohol or drug treatment, to see if you need anything. If you don't, then you don't. But I typically trust the treatment providers to make that determination. Mr. Hill has offered, if you're willing to, if you do assess that you need treatment, if you're willing to do that treatment, that they won't take you the other case that Mr. Smith represents you on to the grand jury. They'll leave that here, and, or I guess they won't proceed on it. It's already gone from here, but they won't proceed on it if you do that. And that if their request is going to be, if you say that you don't want treatment, if they're recommending it, their position is going to be that he wants you to do 30 days in jail. Now, I don't know what your attorney is going to argue in your defense at this point, and I can't tell you exactly how I would rule on that, but he's at least going to ask for jail time. So, would you be willing to do an assessment?
What is an assessment? I mean,
You're going to have a treatment provider that's going to talk to you about and ask you questions, and they're going to try to determine whether or not you need treatment or not.
Okay.
Are you willing to do that?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Who'd like to assess Mr. Montroso? And he's in Proctorville, so.
So we're all kind of stuck in, and have beds. Hometown says they'll assess just to see where he's at, and then he can.
That would be helpful. And then if it's needed, we can look at trying to figure out maybe who has a bed available. But it may not come back that he needs anything, and if it doesn't, then we'll just proceed today. So, all right, so we'll recall this again here shortly in the docket. And Mr. Montroso, you're going to speak with one of the providers in the back, and then they're going to come out and let me know what your assessment came out with. Okay?
Okay.
We'll be back.
State of Ohio recall Shannon Boggs, case number CRB 24521, TRC 194045.
This is State of Ohio versus Shannon Boggs, CRB 2450, excuse me, CRB 2121, TRC 194045. Mr. Morford is here on behalf of Mr. Boggs. And we were last here earlier in the docket, and we got a really bad report from Mr. Boggs at this time.
Your Honor, we are willing to give him an opportunity. He's been placed on a behavior contract, color code urine system, and he has been making progress in the past few days. So we're willing to give him another opportunity. It's up to the court's discretion.
Okay. Mr. Boggs, what say you? I want to hear from you, because the report's the report. It's a terrible report. Now, I am encouraged that they've indicated that they're willing to keep you there, but from what it appears you're truly at the end of the line here as for what they're willing to do, willing to keep you. or it may end up being a situation where you need more intensive treatment.
I've had but as probably okay in the last few weeks, including this morning, back there, I'm on a mission to turn her around. John, give me a screen here while I got it. Just cold medicine, that's it. And yes, for me a lot, but more for my mother who's ill. I'm on a mission to turn her around, and I'm going to do so, Your Honor. Period.
I really don't want to have to put you in jail. I don't want to do it. I mean, I will if you force me to, but if you end up in jail, I can, on as far as this goes, on a bond violation, I can promise you it'll be because you put yourself there. You didn't leave me an opportunity. So I'm not going to amend your bond or revoke your bond at this time. I'm going to give you another shot at it. But the next report better be glowing. If they tell you you got to do something, you got to do it. I don't want to hear that you were questioning it or any of that. Just they tell you it's got to be done, you got to do it.
Your Honor, if I may, we've got a pending case. Our victim here, Ms. Butt, is here, and she's been here on other occasions, I believe. It's a criminal mischief charge. It's a third-degree misdemeanor. It would help our opinion of Mr. Boggs if we could resolve that today, as far as either go ahead and enter a guilty plea today or tell us we're going to have a trial. But we would prefer that. I don't think that there's much doubt. I mean, it seems like it's a pretty obvious case. And if he were to enter a plea today, we would want the same thing that he's doing on the other matter, and that is we would delay sentencing and let him do his treatment. Right, it's a third-degree misdemeanor, but we need to have finalized one way or the other.
Your Honor, I believe we're going to have a change of plea today.
Criminal mischief.
Okay. Mr. Boggs, is that true? All right, what plea or Mr. Wolford is your client intending to enter? Yes. All right. So, be a guilty plea and a guilty finding. Now, my understanding is from talking to from hearing Mr. Heald is that they want to delay sentencing and let him continue doing the treatment that he's doing. Is that correct, Mr. Heald?
Yes, Your Honor. One thing that we don't need to resolve today, but I was speaking to Ms. Butt about the restitution that could possibly be due. We'll come up with the correct figure on that for a later date. Yeah, he damaged a no trespassing sign. So we'll get a figure for that.
Okay. Mr. Wolford, how's your calendar look for October 4th?
Judge, I'd like to keep him in treatment. I've known Mr. Boggs, he's had some personal tragedies here that have been very difficult. The loss of his friend, the family was very close, and that has been a stressor, so to speak, that has played a role in his behavior.
Mr. Wolford, how's your calendar look for October? Okay. Mr. Boggs, I'm going to continue this for sentencing at this time.
Yeah, that's what I
It's going to be set for October 4th at 10 a.m. We're going to allow you to continue doing your treatment. If they think you need more treatment, you're going to have to do it. If they think that what you're doing is working and you can turn it around, that's fine as well. But I caution you now that there's been a guilty plea entered. we're gonna be back for sentencing, and so if you don't hold up your end of the bargain, you're gonna leave myself and Judge Cap with no choice but to put you in jail. And we don't wanna do that.
Because I expect to, and that we, as we last back to the court. We've got constitutes as violation.
Direct contact.
Absolutely true. All right. Mr. Boggs, you'll be released. You'll be released today, pretty much legally. And I look forward to seeing much better and improvement from you going forward.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
State of Ohio recalls Michael Gearhart, case number CRB 24474, A and B.
When are we coming back to court on that last case, Your Honor?
October 4th.
October 4th.
This is State of Ohio versus Michael Gearhart, CRB 24474 A and B. We were here in court earlier, and there was a previous issue. Mr. Gearhart hadn't appeared. He has since appeared.
I've been here all morning.
Okay, just missed being called.
Yes, sir.
So we'll call KPS, even though it probably hasn't gone out. We'll put it over and we'll call it. Mr. Gearhart, I had a note that you were going to hire counsel.
Yes, sir. Well, I've got a counsel on the civil part of it, and he wanted me to ask for a 60-day continuance while that was being settled. And then we believe we've worked out a dismissal on it, but I've got to let the civil part.
Mr. Hill?
Your Honor, apparently Attorney Mussetter from Kentucky has attempted to contact me, and I haven't had a chance to talk with him, but my understanding he's not licensed in Ohio, so I don't know what he can help us do. The circumstances are that there will be no restitution. Also, one of the individuals that was bitten was a Deputy Easterling, and the dog was destroyed there at the scene when that happened, so the dog is gone. There's another dog, but in speaking with the deputy about that other dog, it was tied up. So I don't think that this case reaches that, except, hopefully Mr. Gearhart will take extra care to make sure that the other dogs get released. The other dog stays confined. We have his charge as an M1, but that's incorrect. It should be an M4.
Are you moving to amend with this?
We are, Your Honor. And at this point, if Mr. Gearhart wanted to conclude this case today, since there's no restitution due and the dog is no longer a factor, we would recommend a fine and court costs if he were to enter a guilty plea or a no contest plea.
Okay. Mr. Gearhart, you've heard Mr. Hill now, and I know you've requested a continuance, and if you still wish to have a continuance to get counsel, I will grant you that. Now, I'm not going to grant you 60 days at this point. Now, if you get counsel and we come back and they want to continue it based upon something concrete.
So does this affect my civil case in any way, or?
I don't know what's involved in your civil case to be able
That's
to tell
what
you that.
Mr. Mussetter's telling me that I need to.
If it's involved in this transaction, I suppose it probably could, but I don't know what your civil case is.
Yeah, I don't.
So if you wish to have a continuance, like I said, I will grant you one, but I'm not going to grant you 60 days. I'll give you probably about 30. Now, when you come back, there may be other information you can provide to the court at that time, or you may have gotten counsel over here that can indicate something else to the court, but presently, we've got to continue on in the case. So, like I said, if you wish to have that continuance, I have no problem with that, to give you an opportunity to consult counsel as to whether that's something that you wish or should do.
I mean, so we're going to do it today, but It'll just be fines? There'll be no jail time?
They're asking for just fines and court costs, is all
Fines
the
and court
state's
costs?
asking for.
Yeah, as long as I don't have to, because I would lose everything if I was to go to jail, because I know it holds jail time, but if that's not a factor, I mean, yeah.
You've got two options here, and you can enter a guilty plea, which means you're admitting the violation. If a guilty plea can be used in other proceedings, as if there is anything coming out of this case, a guilty plea can be used. You can also enter a no contest plea if you wish to proceed today. A no contest plea cannot be used against you in another proceeding.
Okay, I'd rather do the no contest.
All right. You're sure that's what you want to do? Like I said, I'll give you the time to seek counsel if you wish. I just want to make sure that you're clear. Because you're
I
not
mean,
representing.
yeah, I guess give me the 30 days and let me get, so you're saying I need to get one from Ohio? Okay, okay. Yeah, let me do that.
All right. We'll
That
come
way I-
back then on October the 7th for
Need a time.
pretrial at 10 a.m. And that'll give you an opportunity, even if you don't hire someone, to at least speak to someone about what you can do.
Which way I need to go. Now I know a little bit more, so.
All right, so we'll see you back on October the 7th.
We'll need a time waiver too, Your Honor.
And hang on, Mr. Gerhard. That's going to be at the defendant's request, but if you want that 30 days, in order to do that, because the state only has so many days to bring you to trial on this matter. And if you want me to continue it and do that, like I said, I'll give you that opportunity. But if you want to do that, that time is going to have to count against you. You'd have to waive your right to speedy trial in this matter to allow that opportunity to do that. So there's a benefit to allow you to seek counsel.
Right.
But the state, because they only have so many days to set it for trial, and to bring you to trial, they have to have that in within so long to do that. So if you wish to that 30 days, I'll give it to you, like I said, but you would have to agree to waive your right to speedy trial, because it's going to be set outside of that 30-day period.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. So in other words, it would take longer than.
Sure.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So I find that you've knowingly and voluntarily waived right to speedy trial.
Your Honor, does he need to sign a signature bond also?
He already has.
Okay.
There's a $1,000 signature bond already filed.
Okay.
All right. Mr. Gerhart, we'll see you back on October 7th.
Okay, thanks, sir.
State of Ohio recalls Brian Montroso.
All right, this is State of Ohio versus Brian Montroso, 24, 499 A, B, and C. We'll start there. So rather than go through, we'll start there.
Okay, Your Honor, me and Jessica both spoke with Mr. Montroso. He claims he just occasionally drinks. He's got a clean drug screen. I don't think either of us can recommend treatment.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, well, we've already had guilty, no contest plea and a stipulation of finding of guilt. Now that we've assessed Mr. Gilder's agreed upon recommendation in this matter?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
I mean, unless, our recommendation is 90 days in jail with 60 suspended.
Okay. And is that a concurrent for all cases?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Morford?
Judge, I don't think that Mr. Montroso had any mens rea. He didn't cause any damage that I'm aware of. We'd ask you to suspend jail sentence. He does have a couple of cases, I guess, that the prosecutor is going to take to Ironton and let them mete out any punishment And I realize that's separating cases from courts, Judge. But he,
Sometimes that's what
well,
occurs. So,
I just throw my client on your mercy, Judge. He is not a hardened criminal. He does have a history here, yes, but it's pretty minor stuff and compared to what he could be charged with.
we read through the report. On the A case, Mr. Montroso, I'm going to sentence you to 90 days in jail. I'll suspend 60 of them. I'm going to take the state's recommendation. So you're going to have 30 days in jail that you're going to have to do. And the reason for that, Mr. Montroso, is mainly because of your prior cases with the court, and you haven't done much to complete any of them. I mean, we've got cases going all the way back to 2011, 13 years ago, that aren't anywhere near completed. So I feel like you need to learn a lesson here, and I'm not convinced that if I just were to give you, suspend the time and give you fines, court costs, and community service, that you would do any of it. So it'll be 90 days. I'm going to suspend 60, it'll be 30 days in jail. It'll be a $100 fine. I'll order you to pay the court costs. $30 hours community service. $2 years level 4 probation. And on the B and the C case, it's going to be the same sentence, but to run concurrently with the A case for the total being 90 days, 60 suspended. So Mr. Montroso in 30 days in jail.
Can you do it?
And like 2 days to turn it over, try to like all my stuff.
It will be
Whatever. I got my stuff.
On the B case, it'll be the same. It's going to be slightly different on the C case.
How long do you need?
Just a couple days, just try to get my hand, just want to take my hand.
Your Honor, the defendant has asked me if the court would consider allowing him to report to jail next Friday. He has some sales pending, and some personal items he'd like to get secured before he goes to jail.
Mr. Montroso, I will give you to next Friday. You'll need a report here. However, I will caution you. If you do not show up to report, and I'm doing that because you tested negative today, and based upon the results of the assessment, even though I'm not entirely sure you were being honest on the assessment. Based upon that, I'll give you the next Friday to report. But in the event that you do not appear, you're going to do every day of that 90. You understand that?
Yes, and thank you.
No problem.
What time do you want it in here, Judge?
11, Your Honor.
11? Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Thank you. Thank you.
No, we're not finished yet. We got to make sure we get the sentence in correctly here. The C case, when you get there, it'll just be 30 days of jail, and it'll be completed. That's all the maximum.
Not additional benefits.
No. 30 days per, and the 30 days that he does will kill that case.
And what was the B case?
The B case is obstructing official business into, it'll be the same jail time. We'll do I won't give you an additional fine. And the C is just 30 days.
Judge, are you going to set a review date?
On the resisting arrest case that's on your screen, how's that sentence?
Is that the... That's the A case.
It looks like it's a separate case number. The A case is CRB 24499A, and this is CRB 24559. It must be a different violation there.
That, I think, yes, that I believe was included in Mr. Tyler Smith's case, I believe. And I don't know, Mr. Hill, if he waived in the F3, but I don't know if you were, assuming you probably nominated the grand jury with it. I think they were all part of the allegations in the F3.
Oh, the resisting arrest that went along, yes, we would do that.
All right, those will be nollied to the grand jury along with the felony in that case.
There's a resisting, there's a second resisting.
And what we're going to do on all cases that has remaining in court, I'm going to set them for a pretrial on review for October 11th. I know you won't have, you'll just be getting out about that time, Mr. Montoso, so I won't expect you to have much done. But we're going to go through what you owe the court and come up with a plan for you to get that accomplished.
Your Honor, I'm sorry, what was that date? You don't want the March 3rd date, you want the sooner than?
October 11th. He's on all, he's got so many cases, we're going to put them all together and keep them.
And the older cases, he has 30 days in jail, they're not suspended by jail time. Okay.
Those are related to this matter.
Next week, Friday at 11. We'll go to jail on October 11th. A review at 9 a.m.
Or actually, let's do October 18th.
At 9, Your Honor?
No, 10 o'clock.
10.
It's going to be a pre-trial on reviews, Mr. Murphy.
Okay.
Your Honor, is that jail time concurrent with the other cases or consecutive? You get 30 days total?
Concurrent.
Okay.
Okay. Next week. And then 10, 18 at 10.
And I'm sorry, what was that review hearing?
Well, hang on, that's on the 11 case.
Yes, this is,
I'm not intending to sentence them on any of those. Those are just review matters.
Okay,
So
so
I just want to keep
that's
those as a
review.
pre-trial on review.
okay.
I think we've sentenced now on all that we're sentencing on today.
Okay, and I'm sorry, again, on the newer ones, what was the review date?
October 18th
October 18th,
for
okay.
a pre-trial, so it's a
All right.
pre-trial. Thank you, Mr. Walker.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Again, Mr. Montrose, give me a shot at this. You won't hear next Friday. It's not going to be happening.
I'll be here.
All right. See you later.
Thank you. Judge, may I approach for a second?
You may. Not sure yet.
Yes, sir. You know what, I'm not sure, you better stand there.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, if I'm here, I would anticipate that you would not, I would hear.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. 2, Mr. Morford.
State of Ohio recalls Russell A. Severance at the Lawrence County Jail, case number CRB 24543.
All right, this is State of Ohio versus Russell A. Severance, CRB 24543. And it looks like Mr. Severance had failed to appear for arraignments and has admitted to that. We have arraigned him on his charge, and we have not set bond at this time. Mr. Severance, can you hear me? Are you working presently? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
No.
All right, do you have any income?
Yes. Supplemental,
Okay, how much do you get a month?
$943.
All right, you'll still qualify. Is Mr. Morford still here?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I'll appoint Mr. Morford to represent you.
Your Honor, is this the paraphernalia case?
It is.
So I believe he pled guilty earlier today, but I could be wrong.
He did. Here, it was yeah, he had pled guilty, but I want him to have an attorney on for his portion of it.
Mr. Morford's on his way.
Okay. Mr. Morford,
Yes.
I'm going to put you on this matter because I'm going to do a delayed sentencing in this. This is Mr. Russell Severance. It's an M3 paraphernalia, but Mr. Severance, from what he had indicated earlier on record, doesn't have anywhere to go, and it appears that there may be some mental health or substance abuse issues going on based upon the narrative. We had him assessed, however, none of the treatment providers here today could do anything on that. They didn't have a bed. So I have nowhere to send Mr. Severance at this point, so I'm going to go ahead and set a bond at $2,500 cash as surety. And I know, Mr. Morford, you can't be here, but I'm going to set this for Monday.
I'll have Mr. Smith covered, Your Honor.
Okay. And I'm going to set it for the 9th at 10 a.m. for sentencing. And maybe at that point, we'll have a better option as to what we can do with Mr. Severance as far as that goes.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Severance, I've appointed you counsel, and I've set you a bond at $2,500 cash as surety. We're going to be back on Monday for a pretrial, okay?
All right.
All right, thank you.
I think they're all here.
State of Ohio versus Brett Mitchell at the Lawrence County Jail, case number CRB 15891.
Thank you, Mr. Morford. This is State of Ohio versus Brett Mitchell, CRB 15891. Mr. Mitchell's present on Zoom. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Mitchell, you have, we were last here earlier, and we had this recalled after an assessment was done, after Mr. Mitchell indicated that he had failed to appear for his review on sentencing. So, Mr. Mitchell, what I'm going to do, we had you assessed, but we couldn't, there wasn't a treatment provider that could take you today. So, I'm going to set you a bond at $5,000 cash as surety. But you're going to have to stay in jail on Monday. I'm going to reset this for Monday, September 9th.
So I can post bond today or after Monday?
If you can post the $5,000 cash as surety, you can post it. You're free to do that. If you cannot, we'll see you back on Monday.
All right.
And we're going to see you back on Monday either way, but hopefully, with any good fortune, we'll be able to have a treatment center that can take you on Monday, and then you can avoid having to post that bond, is kind of the hope. But it's ultimately, I set the bond, and you're free to post it if you can.
So with that, I mean, 5,000, does that mean 500, you gotta get 10% of that, or?
I don't know, that would be between you and the bondsman. Mr. Morford, what were you asking?
Would you ask them to be
Oh, I haven't appointed anybody on this one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. This was just an admission, so. All right, so Mr. Mitchell, we'll see you back on September the 9th.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Sorry, Ted, I'll be back on that.
No worries, Mr. Morford. Are there any cases? All right. Court's adjourned.
I wasn't actually going to go check it. I know,
Mr. Montrosa, we need to change the C case on the sentencing. It needs to just be not concurrent with the A and B case, but it just needs to say 30 days jail. None suspended. Because when he does, that was an M4, so we can't.
Better? Did they reset this?
That's it.
Was it 10-6?
Yeah, I'll put that, I know, thank you very much.
And this one will destroy.
You got the A and the B then?
Yes. Here's the A. That's the B.
Yep, here's one, here's sir.
And Mr. Morford, was this the only signature you needed?
Yes, thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Here is the one on 559.
This is the corrected one. Correct.
And you need to sign that one, but I'll give it to the right.
Is that signed?
Yes.
Thank you.
I don't think I've signed it.
No,
Oh, you did.
He didn't sign the
Oh, here it
number.
goes.
Ah, okay.